And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Move studio with me, your host, Giles Tiger Thomas. And we're joined all the way from sunny Florida, Derek Lunsford.
Hey, how's it going? Thanks for having me.
Derek, I am bloody well, mate. I want to get you on because obviously we've got the big dance in a few weeks in Orlando. Firstly, how are you feeling, mate?
I'm feeling really good, man. It's been a much different year this year. You know, most people, everybody knows that I'm working with Hany Rambod this go around. So that's a lot different, as well as I'm with Evogen Nutrition as well. So this year has just been a completely different prep than previous years. Feeling much better and eager to be in the gym every single day. I'm kind of hitting some PRs in the gym as of yesterday, Chess. So feeling good, man. I'm honestly just having fun, dude. So also, I'll say, you know, my own personal life is going really well. Got my fiance down here. She was, I was texting you the other day, saying she was going to grad school for 3 years. So for the last 3 Olympias, I've been by myself down here in a small little apartment. We have a house now. My fiance's here. Got a great group of friends. So all is well, man.
Wow, because I mean, going to a relationship, you've been together since you were, 17?
Yes, 11 years, man. We're going to get married probably next March.
Oh, fantastic. So, because you were, like I said, you just said there, she was, your fiance was studying for 3 years in a different part of the country.
Yeah, so she's actually originally from the Philippines, but we are from Indiana. And 3 years ago when I moved to Florida, she was supposed to come with me. And as soon as I moved, she actually got accepted to grad school. So that was a 3-year program that she went to be a doctor of physical therapy. So like I said, for the last 3 Olympias, I've been down here by myself, doing it all by myself. So it's just been, it was tough, but now that she's here, it's made it a world of difference. So.
I mean, is it helping your prep, having your partner with you now? Is it, in what way?
Yeah. Many ways, man. Like, I mean, obviously, you know, just that moral support. I don't know, just having your loved one there, right? Like, just knowing that she's gonna be there, you know, every day. It's just like, I don't know, just come on, man. You know, like you're in a relationship, you know what it's like to not be with someone or be with someone. It's completely different. Like so I think it's. That's probably been, along with Hany, the biggest change in this year's prep is just having her here helping me. But obviously, you know, like if I'm tired or something, I'm like, oh babe, like can you help me with this meal or like whatever. if we're going to the gym to do cardio or something like that, I'm like, babe, can you just drive today or something?
Yeah.
So like it's like the little things that make the biggest difference. So I don't know. And then like I said, just having that person there that you love, instead of just missing them all the time. So.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great news. So, I mean, tell us how the whole Hany Rambod thing came around.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so after last year's Olympia, I knew I wanted to make a change. And I went backstage at finals, and he was back there. We hit it off. We just started talking, and I said, you know, I'm interested in working with you if you'd be interested in working with me. And we got to talking after a few weeks, and yeah, and we both, you know, he believed in me, and I've always admired him, you know, working with, you know, Phil Heath, Jay Cutler. Those were 2 of my idols, you know, coming into the sport. So just him being the top-notch coach and him believing in me, it just worked out, man. And we have a really strong bond now after working for a year. It's almost like, I don't know, I call him, and sometimes we don't even talk about bodybuilding. We just joke around, so...
I mean, do you know the thing that shocked me is how I think even after like just a few short weeks after you announced that you were working together, I mean, because you post a lot on social media, you're very good with the social media accounts. Like we all saw just a huge explosion in your physique. What exactly changed so dramatically to create such a dramatic change in your physique so quickly?
Well, actually, there was a short time period, like a couple weeks of, and that's what you're talking about, right? How it just kind of morphed real quick after a couple months. There was a short time period where I was like, you know what? Maybe I'll just try an open show next year. And so I just said, I'm going to go back to the Olympia, I'm going to go back to the drawing board. I'm going to go back to the gym, and I'm just going to eat, sleep, train. And if I grow out of the 212, I grow out of the 212. And then once Hany and I talked, he's like, nah, man, like you you weren't even at the top of the weight last year. Like, you still have room to grow into the 212. So we're going to come back and be 212. Not to mention, like, you can get that title. We're going to go for that title. I said, all right, man, like, I trust you and I believe it. And I truthfully, I did want to give it at least one more year with Hany. So yeah, no question, man. Definitely going to make 212 smooth sailing
So I mean, so I remember the year when you weighed in and your weight actually dropped by the time you hit the stage.
Yeah,
that was a couple of years ago.
Year.
Yeah, I remember.
No.
That was a couple of years ago.
No, that was last year. So I was so dieted down last year. I worked so hard. I ran my body into the ground that I actually weighed in the lightest I ever did last year. Mm-hmm. And then once I started feeding up, I actually dropped even more weight. And it was just like, man, my body was almost like a runaway train at that point. So it was just like, I knew even before going to prejudging, this is probably not going to work out well. And I just tried my best to stay confident and just, trust in the process. And it wasn't my year, man. But the thing is, everything happens for a reason. And again, had things worked out, maybe it wouldn't have led me to Hany and Evagen and all this. And I've learned, man, I'm telling you what, I have learned more this year. Even just the last few weeks, I've learned more in the last few weeks than I've ever learned in bodybuilding. And I am just so eager for these next few years to see where my body takes me. So this year is already going to night and day difference. My update pictures, my weight is lower, but I'm so much bigger, harder, grainier, just separate. Like, everything's just crazy different. But like, still fitting in that 212 cap. So it's just a night and day different, man. And also I don't want to say it's any easier. Like, this, it's definitely not been any easier, but it's been like smoother, coming down in the weight, and training has been ramping up, getting better. This is the most I've ever eaten, the least amount of cardio I've ever done.
Wow.
Not really taking much, and I'm just like, dude, it's like, it's been great, man.
So, I mean, thing is, it's funny, like last year you could maybe, you're still fourth place at the Olympia. It's still incredible. But for some bodybuilders, a setback like that would completely knock them back. But a true champion's mindset, remember what happened to Ronnie Coleman in 2002 when he got beat by Gunter?
Yeah.
He came back in 2003 and he just completely he said, I got mad. He says, they want to go to war, I'll go to war. And he came back with but if that had, like you said, it happened for a reason. If that hadn't happened in 2002, we wouldn't have seen the 2003 Ronnie. So that obviously gave you, and I mean, it's not like you haven't got a fire under your ass because you're an incredible athlete, but obviously that really gave you that impetus to really just take everything to a whole new level with Hany.
I've always given 100%. I've always been eager to be my best. And sometimes, honestly, I'm not going to say it's just coach versus coach. Part of it's me, too. I had to kind of get out of my own way, right? Like, again, that's why it was important that I mentioned, like, having my fiance here. It's like, just the mental aspect, too, of not stressing so much. And Hany saying, dude, you're right on track. You're good. I'm like, all right, cool. So, like, I'm super trusting in the process, and I'm just, like I said, I'm having fun, man, and it's just been smooth sailing, and I really can't believe how, like, everything is just opposite of how it used to be. Like, literally, I used to eat, like, I literally would eat, like, no carbs pretty much. I would feel miserable doing double sessions of cardio and training. Like, the training wasn't even, he's been helping me with my training too as well, like FST7 training and stuff. So the training's different, the cardio's less, and food's way higher. I'm feeling way better, and the physique is just night and day. I
mean, I think we've spoken before the Olympias, like this close before, but usually you're in a very, very kind of like, you look very serious and very intense. Yeah, and you're more like off. Right? You're like you've got proper pre-contest face. You've got huge delts that are probably absolutely completely shredded, but you've got that kind of, you can see things are going smoothly. You can see that you're feeling very, very confident going in.
Well, yeah, I mean, like I told you, I keep saying I'm just having fun, man. And I think, I don't know if you saw my YouTube videos that I've been putting out. I've been putting out some content on YouTube now and stuff. And I think it just goes to show that I'm just enjoying the process, and I'm learning and growing. And I'm just like, I'm an eager learner, man. I love to get better. And he's been teaching me a lot of different things, man. And I just know that this isn't even like, this is just the beginning. Like I feel like I said this to Hany. I was like, dude, this is the first year I've actually like truly been a bodybuilder. Like this is like the first year I've actually bodybuilded.
In what way? What do you mean? What do you mean?
Like I said, man, like just I felt like that, like everything was opposite of what I should have been doing. Like I said, running my body into the ground. Like I just felt like I didn't have a great grasp on like the training, the nutrition, the process as a whole. Like I would stress a lot because I felt like I wasn't doing enough, even though I was probably doing too much. And it's just like, man, chill out, man. Go in there, do what you need to do. Like, and he's explaining it to me. That's the thing. He's like, He's like, dude, this is what you need to do, and this is why. You don't need to go any more than that. You don't need to go any less than that. This is what you need to do today to be your best. Tomorrow, we'll make adjustments if we need to, but this is what you need to do today. Tomorrow, we'll address it, and then we'll see what you need to do tomorrow. So he's like making sense of it all to me. So now, and I coach people too, and it's like I'm able to actually help people better because now I understand for myself how things have been clicking for me. So I'm like, now I'm able to help other people even more too. So that's cool.
I know you reposted what I wrote in my MD column. And I said, because I said, I think this is going to be the Kamal and Clarida show for the next few years. And I said, guys, if what's happening with Hany and Derek is going to keep going, I think you can throw that in the trash. I actually put it in the magazine. I think it's the one out now, or maybe the one coming out. But I think it's the one you've actually reposted because I've done it. I've written about you twice. Because I said, if he can pull some Phil Heath 3D kind of voodoo shit, was my words. I said
that's Hany stuff, man. Get it's just 3D, baby.
Yeah. The thing is, it's like that picture I reposted on MD, where you're just doing the hands class. That was me that posted that, reposted. Yeah. And I said, that looks like, that's like a kind of the 3D, that's like the Hany kind of, the trademark look, that kind of 3D look.
Yeah. That's definitely what I noticed. And that's what he said too, right when he started. He was like, man, we got to get you rounder, fuller, crazier. And he literally said, we got to get you 3D. And so I was like, I said, like, are you serious? Like, are you sure? Because are you sure I'm not going to grow out of the 212 with this? He goes, no, man, we're going to get you 3D, bro. And I was like, and be 212, and we're going to be the best you've ever been in the 212. Okay, cool. Whatever you say, man. And that's the thing is I pride myself on being incredibly coachable. And I think that that's also what he saw in me right away, is that he knew that I was going to listen to him and execute the plan 100% and not miss a beat. So I think that's another thing too, is that how consistent I've been just listening to him and paying attention to the details,
Yeah. So, I mean, going back to when I said about it was 2018, actually, because I remember it was after the weigh-in and you were, because I remember seeing Bumstead and he just shaved his mustache off, and that was 2018.
Yeah, I know.
So it was. So that was when you weighed in, and by the time you got to the stage, you were weighing less.
No, actually, that was opposite. So I actually weighed more in 2018 and 2019, but then the 2020 was the opposite.
What happened?
So 2018, 2019, I was right at the top of the 212 tipping scale, but I was watery or softer and kind of just, I wasn't as hard and grainy and separated as I am like this year, like you're going to see. But that's what was weird about last year, was that you would have thought adding another year of progress, I would have just, been even bigger and harder and crazier, but it wasn't. It was the opposite. It was like I had actually almost took a step back because I had just worked myself into the ground. I kept hearing, you got to get conditioned. From 2018 to 2019, it was like conditioning. So I was like, all right, well, conditioning is not going to be an issue for 2020.
Yeah.
And then so I just that's what people still say. Oh, if Derek can get his conditioning right, well, it was just I was just so ran down, man. You can only imagine how I felt. So this year, man, as of right now, we still have. I'm not trying to get people too excited either, because we still have 3 weeks and some days, right? So we still have time to work and progress, but we're going to use it to keep getting better. And I'm really, really, really pumped. And that's what I said, like this morning. I won't tell you what I weighed, but
oh, come on! That's my next question. Come on.
I'll just say we're ready to rock and roll, baby. And we're eating more food, and we're training harder, and we are.
Derek.
We're coming. Oh, and by the way, I'm actually flying out tomorrow to go to LA. I'll be there Monday to Thursday. I'm training with Hany, and I know Hany. I'm training with Hany Rambod, but Hany's out there and Andre's out there.
Wow.
And we're all getting together. So make sure you guys, I don't know when this is coming out, but I'll be out there this week. And then I'll come back. I'll be at home again with my fiance and my friends and family here. And then I'll see Hany again the Sunday before the Olympia in Orlando, which is just a short little drive away. So basically I'm with Hany the rest of this.
Fantastic. Do you know what I was expecting today? I'll be perfectly honest with you. I was expecting to ask you about the weight, and I was expecting to look very uncomfortable and try and avoid the question. And to go, and to start breaking out into a sweat. Seriously, that's what I expected. Honestly.
That's if you would have went back 2 or 3 months ago, I'd have been like, yeah, you're probably right. 4 weeks out. I'm like, I don't know how we're going to make it. I don't know.
Yeah.
No, we're good, bro. We're actually, like, it's crazy how much, I'm probably eating like 4 times more food than I ever have.
Wow.
Yeah.
What is it? I've noticed something about your physique that really kind of baffles me. How do your glutes come in before anything else?
I don't know, man, to be honest.
Your glutes are shredded.
The training, man, and the consistency. I have shredded glutes in the off season.
Yeah.
And even when I'm at my fattest, I have shredded. So I think it's more or less just like the training over the years, just the really hammering legs year round off season, really train them hard. But yeah.
So this guest posing, because on Hot News, we bring up stuff that's come out on Instagram that week or online somewhere, and something that shocked me. And the two, normally we'll do one person 1 week, and then we might not mention them again for several months. You and Ian Valliere are two that I've brought up like 6 episodes in a row. And I've said, okay, this week's video, this week's pictures, this guest posing, he's completely blown my mind for the 3rd week in a row, the 4th week in a row, 5th week in a row. It's like that guest posing a few weeks ago. What can you tell me? Firstly, I couldn't believe how much bigger your legs were.
Yeah.
They look like Tom Platz. When it's the depth of like the inner. How can I put it? The dimensions. Like the
separation of like all the different quad muscles and stuff, and also like the cross striations within the muscle itself.
It's just when you do that. When you do that,
like Jay Cutler. Like I think the 09. Actually, that's what Hany was saying. He's like, I just want you to think 09 Jay Cutler. That's what we want. That's what we're going to go for. I'm like, all right.
Yeah. No, but I think when you do that, because you do that like, sort of leaning bicep pose, and you put your one leg out, I just couldn't believe. I was like, I've never seen Derek's legs look that big before. So for that guest posing, how long ago was that?
That would have been 9 weeks out. That was the NPC Knoxville Classic in Tennessee. Knoxville.
What were we weighing there? Do you know? That was weeks ago. Come on. Okay. But you look great there, mate. You look really good.
Thank you, man. No, we weren't ready for the 212 in that one, obviously.
312. So you mentioned at the start, you were talking about, okay, I'm just going to train for an open show. What's your feelings on, because a lot of people are saying he's no way he's going to make 212. Maybe he's going to jump in the open. What's your feelings on becoming?
Hey, your buddy Ron Harris actually texted me last night. Did he tell you?
No.
No, he texted me last night. He goes, so I'm hearing this rumor. You got a special invite to the Open Olympia. And I'm like, what? So, you know me. I was like,
that's a compliment.
What? I'm going to mess with this guy.
No way. Oh, wow.
So I text him. I go, hey, man, I don't make those decisions, bro. Just kind of leaving it up in the air to him.
Poor Ron.
And then I said, I texted him this morning. I said, hey, Ron, because you and all of us go way back. I was like, I had to mess with you for about a half a day. Nah, I'm too close, man.
So what's your feelings on that? Is it literally just focusing on the Olympia and whatever happens afterwards, whatever,
Yeah, man. Yeah, you can't put the cart before the horse, right?
Yeah.
So you got to just focus on one show at a time, and this is the first goal that I'm thinking of, right? All I can think about is between now and the Olympia. Look, I only have 3 more weeks left.
Yeah.
I got 3 weeks. Why do I want to think beyond that? All I need to do is focus on 3 weeks.
Fair enough.
When 3 weeks hits, then we'll address whatever happens at the Olympia, so.
Oh, fair enough, mate. Fair enough. So, wouldn't it be cool if you won the 212 and Hany won the Open?
Oh, that'd be awesome. And what about Andre, men's physique?
He's very good as well. Yes.
He is really improved. Did you see his last show, man? He crushed it.
Which one was that?
It was a few weeks ago,
okay.
Maybe a month ago or something like that. But that's when he got his Olympia qualification. All I'm saying is
hell of a team.
Andre, he made significant improvements, man. So be looking out for Andre as well.
That's a hell of a team. Hell of a team.
Good guys too. That's the thing, man. he brings good people around as well.
So how old are you now then? 26?
28.
28. Oh, you're getting on a bit now. Bit of grey hair though, mate.
People are calling me out. I'm like, why are you getting gray hair? My dad got gray hair at this time. My grandpa got gray hair at this time.
Yeah.
As long as this doesn't recede, I'm good.
Good. You can get hair implants.
She's laughing in the back.
Right, Derek, because it's the Olympia in 3 weeks, I promised 25 minutes and we're nearly at 24, so I want to be good on my word on that. But because mate, you're such a talking point at the moment. You really are. Because of what you've achieved with Hany, is like, honestly, it's just been an OMG moment. Everything you've posted, it's been like, holy shit. If he can bring, I said if he could bring 85% of the impressiveness we're seeing, I think, and I've written that, so you can go and check. So I'm not just blowing smoke up your ass. I've said that. I've said it on record. I've said it on the show many, many times. I said, I think, you're going to be, you're going to be a real threat for the title, mate.
Yeah, man. I am confident that, me coming in this year, like with seeing the changes this year, like my updates every day.
Yeah.
I'm definitely confident that I have, that I can stand with anyone for sure. And, my main focus this entire year is just, look, I just want to be the best I can be. Like, I'm not the one that is going to be saying I'm the best or giving myself the title. We got judges for that, right? The judges are the one that decides this guy is the champ. So I know that, I'm going to be one of those guys, one of the front runners for that title, man. And I am confident in that. But at the end of the day, man, I'm just very happy and proud of the improvements that I've made. I am grateful beyond belief to be working with Hany Rambod and Evagen, and I'm just having fun, man. Like I'm just grateful that I get to do this. And you know that, man. You can hear it in the tone of my voice and everything. Like I'm just happy that I get to do this, and I just want to do it as long as I can and just be the best I possibly can. But this is just the very beginning, I promise you.
And one thing I like is your positivity and confidence is 365 days of the year. I've never really seen you be anything but that.
Thank you, man. Yeah, man. And the thing is, it's two things. Obviously, this is the most important thing in my life, right? My walk with Christ. So that is what keeps me the strongest. But I have such good people in my life that keep my head on straight, right? So I'm the one on stage, sure, but I have such good support, such a good team. So I just want to give a huge shout out to everybody that has been in my corner, because I couldn't do without them. I promise you that. This is not a one-man show. It never has been, never will be.
Right. I think that there's nothing more needs to be said. Right. Okay then, mate. This is honestly, I'm glad I got you on, because I wanted to know about what had been going on this year, and the fact you're eating more food and you're doing less cardio, and you seem you seem really happy and confident. Everything's gonna go well. And
we filmed yesterday. Yeah, we filmed yesterday's training with the chest training I just told you.
Yeah.
So that will be out. We have a bunch of videos on YouTube right now already out. The latest one was a 6-week out leg video. We got another one coming probably tomorrow. Tons of content that we've already shot, but. Just so you know, I'm not BSing. We filmed yesterday's training at less than 4 weeks out. You'll see how we've been.
And you said before we started filming, you're hitting PBs at like 3-4 weeks out.
Yeah, I hit what?
You're hitting PBs.
PB like PRs, like yeah.
PR, dude, sorry, that's a bit of British twist.
Oh, okay, yeah. Yeah, man. I like I said, man. It's just I want to be in the gym. Like I wake up, I can't wait to do my cardio. I come home, I eat a couple meals, take a nap, I wake up again, and I can't wait to go to the gym and train. Like it's just it's weird, because before it was like, oh, I'm miserable, I can't even hardly get up, and I'm like, ugh. And now I'm like, man, I can't wait to go to the gym and train. So that's the difference.
Well, I think it was a good thing that you approached Hany backstage last year, because obviously it's worked out amazingly all year by the sounds of it. It's and like I said, it's reflecting your physique. I saw you guest posing, and I was just like, wow. I can't believe the magic I think it's the magic we all wanted to happen and is happening,
That's what I wanted too, man. Like I bust my butt every year. Ever since I was a kid, man, in sports, I have given 100% to everything, man. I know it sounds silly, but I used to pride myself. There was 2 sports that I took super serious in high school, wrestling and soccer. And my fiance laughs at me. She's like, oh, but I'll tell you, I got the most improved award. What was it? 5 out of 8 opportunities or something like that? I know it sounds silly. It's like, oh, you suck and you got a little bit better. But for me, I pride myself on getting the most improved because that means I work the hardest, man.
Yeah.
And so imagine that 4 years, 8 opportunities, because that's 2 sports. I got the most improved 5 times out of all the out of everyone in both these. So I'm just saying, man, like she's still laughing at herself. But I'm just saying, man, yeah. I've always given my all, and with the Olympia and bodybuilding, I've always given my all. So all I've ever wanted is just to be my best. And now I'm aligned with the best coach in the world, with the best supplements in the world. Mm-hmm. And I think this is going to be, without question, night and day, by far the best I've ever been. But the worst I'll ever be.
Okay.
It's the best I've ever been, but the worst I will ever be.
Okay.
It's just the beginning.
Oh, yeah. Okay. All right, then. Wow. Okay, then, mate. Well, I'm excited. Well, obviously, we're all excited for the Olympia. I mean, it's coming up quick, isn't it?
Yes, sir. 3 weeks. I'll see you there.
Yeah. All right, then, mate. Well, thank you so much for coming on. And again, like I said, I appreciate, coming on so close to the Olympia, and appreciate everything, really. So all the best for the next few weeks. And like I said, all the very best for the Olympia in 4 weeks' time.
Thank you, man. Really appreciate you having me on. Yeah, and nice to meet her, too, as well.
Hello. All right, then, Derek. I'll let you get back to your prep, and I'll speak to you very soon.
All right. God bless you guys.
Thank you, Derek. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas, and we're joined all the way from Croatia, Branka Njegovec.
Yep.
Oh, I got the name wrong. Sorry, Branka Njegovec.
No, it's okay.
Is that close?
Branka is okay. Yeah.
Okay, well, we'll just refer to you as Branka. Right, Branka. Now, the reason I want to get you on, a few reasons. You sent me a message the other day. Do you want to enlighten us all about this big news?
Yeah. I finally decided to move to bodybuilding after few years. My coach telling me that I'm built for bodybuilding, that I belong to that category. Yes. I wasn't listening, but I think that now in Spain, in Alicante, I finally got to my head that my place is not in physique. As much as I like that category, I like that ripped look. I like the roundness of it and the fullness of muscles, which is actually bodybuilding, not as physique. So,
okay,
let's move and compete in. I'll try to compete. I'll try to do my best in Romania. That's the show that I'm aiming for.
Fantastic. So now, I mean, my personal history. I remember being at the 2016 Olympia. And you were in the physique, and you didn't place, but I was like, oh, hang on a minute, this lady is clearly. I mean, I remember it's even just your lower body, it's so thick and dense and ripped, and I just thought, why is this lady not moving over to women's bodybuilding? And then obviously women's bodybuilding's now back at the Olympia, and it's kind of back. I think it's growing faster than women's physique right now, personally. Yeah. And then, so I'm absolutely over the moon that you finally decided to move to women's bodybuilding, because I hate seeing really good competitors who work really hard on bringing, because I've never seen you once even close to out of condition. Your condition is sensational. Yeah. It's like, I mean, you're like a female Dorian.
Oh,
seriously, it is.
It's a compliment.
I mean, your lower body your skin is so thin. It's crazy.
Yeah, I like to be. I mean, I like that look, and it's really not hard for me. As many say, you must sacrifice a lot. No, I don't sacrifice. I love the bodybuilding. I love getting on stage condition, and the fact that I did 100%. I did, everything that I could to be that way, and I enjoy being on stage. I really do. So I think it's going to be much easier for me now in bodybuilding, because I was in physique. I was constantly trying to lose muscles, because I would add muscles very quickly, so I had to lose them. I was always hungry, so this is, I think, a big plus.
So just enlighten us, because I mean, I remember you being in women's physique back in 2016. Have you ever competed as a female bodybuilder? What's your history?
Well, I started as a lightweight bodybuilder. I won 5 European championships. It was 4 in bodybuilding, lightweight bodybuilding, and 1 in the mixed pairs.
Okay.
So I won my pro cards at Arnold Classic 2013
I was
in
there.
lightweight bodybuilding and overall competitive.
You've just actually sparked a memory. I remember seeing you win the under 55 kilo at the 2013 Amateur Arnold Classic in Columbus, Ohio. I remember you. Of course, how could I forget? So sorry. So what made you switch then to women's physique? I don't understand. If you were already like why did you switch back? What was the reason?
I actually started build up muscles, but I had some problems with the IFBB here in Croatia, which stopped me from competing for 3 years till 2016. And when I finally got them to give me that pro card that I earned 2 years ago, I know they removed bodybuilding, and I was thinking, if there's my goal was Olympia. If there's no bodybuilding in Olympia, I wanted to, this is everybody's dream to go at the Olympia stage. So that was that trigger that pushed me into physique. Although I won my first my pro debut was Mozzolani Pro Show, and I won that one. Although now that I look pictures back then, it was so obvious I was a bodybuilder there, but I out-conditioned everyone there so that I could be either last one or the first one. So my condition was so great that they let me win.
Okay,
I don't know what else to say.
Yeah, because if they either have to place you, like you said, first or last, because if you keep bringing unbelievable condition, But I really out-conditioned them all. If you see the pictures, you can see that I was way better than them. So I won that show. That wasn't even a planned show. That came up, and we had the prep like 5 weeks. I started to prep for the Chicago Pro and Vancouver Pro that year. What year was this?
2016.
Okay, that was the year I saw you at the Olympia.
Yeah. And I did those shows after the Mozzolani. And honestly, I was asked at the backstage, why don't I just go and do the bodybuilding? But as I already qualified for the Olympia, I decided to start losing muscles, losing weight. And I did that transformation, but obviously... I don't know.
So the reason you switched back was because you wanted to get to the Olympia, and of course, from 2015 to 2019, there was no Olympia. Sorry, there was no female bodybuilder Olympia. So that's why you stayed women's physique.
Yeah, that's why I stayed in physique.
Okay.
Then I had a shoulder surgery, so I thought, I'm gonna lose a lot of muscles. I won't be able to put them up for the another show because I aimed for one, the Farina Legacy in San Diego in 2017. So I said, okay, I'm going to go to physique again.
Okay.
And I didn't place well, of course. I didn't place. I was ripped. I was in great condition, but head judge said that my muscles were too dense, that I'm, again, same story.
Sorry. Yeah. So,
and then I didn't compete for a while till now because I have a daughter in UK studying there.
Okay.
Yeah, she just finished university this year, graduated, so she's staying there.
Okay. So,
and that was the reason why I didn't compete. Like financially, I couldn't.
Okay.
No, and I did this show, and this was like eye-opening, I guess. Although I know. Deep inside, I knew I'm a bodybuilder. I have no idea why I was fighting it so much.
Branka, but the Olympia aside, obviously Jake Wood and Tim Gardner and Alina, they all kept the Rising Phoenix, the Rings of Strength. They had good prize money. They had, the cars. Did you not think maybe, there's no Olympia, but there is a Rising Phoenix? Did you ever consider doing that in that time, or?
Yeah. A lot of things was going on in my mind. I felt like, I was in a gap between two categories. I felt great that way, but I felt like I don't belong to physique because I was too big, too ripped, and too small for the bodybuilding. So I was always like waiting where to go, either lose weight a bit or add a bit. I was always somewhere in between, and I don't know. I'm a pretty stubborn person, so.
Oh well. Well, I mean, obviously last year the Miss Olympia came back, and it's been such a huge success. I bet they're kicking themselves for removing it now. There's obviously a lot of women's physique that have transitioned into women's bodybuilding, but they haven't really got that much bigger. I mean, you got like Naila Ash, Margita Zamalova, and these are ladies that didn't kind of bring a dramatically different look to the female body, but they're winning shows. Was that kind of in the back of your mind, maybe?
Yeah, that's one of the reasons. I had a really good and a long talk with my coach, who's also, we worked together for 15 years, 16 years now.
Who is that? Okay, Branka, sorry, I had a bit of connection issue there. Sorry, you were saying about your coach for 15 years. He's more excited than anybody that you're switching to female bodybuilding.
Yeah, he and all the friends that kept telling me that I should do it. Now I've finally set my mind on it.
Good.
I'm not gonna go, such much as a size, but for my conditioning, because I know I can do it, and I know I can be, ripped. I'm working on a symmetry, working it all the time, and I think I can bring an awesome package. In November, I have enough time, to do it.
So now you're, because I've spoke to other women's physique who've gone to female bodybuilding. Will you be training differently or prepping differently than when you're women's physique?
No.
Okay.
No, definitely not. We always, do it slowly and step by step. And he knows my body and everything, we worked together for 15 years, so I don't think there's going to be a lot of change. I'm not going to be probably doing as much cardio. I'm not going to be starving as much.
Yeah.
But I'm actually looking forward to it.
Good. I tell you,
I'm excited for every change that's going on there.
I mean, if you look at someone like Michaela Aycock, I mean, she's a similar height and structure and kind of probably amount of muscle. And there's a lady that's won pro shows.
Yeah, gives me hope.
Yeah. Wow. So women's physique is now completely done with. When did you make the decision to do Romania?
Right there in Spain.
In Spain? What, were you all backstage or?
We actually planned Romania in a physique at the first. But there was, there was that look that he gave me and the head judge, and they said, do the bodybuilding. I said, okay.
Fantastic.
Finally giving up, and I'm doing bodybuilding.
It only took 5 years of everyone telling you. Only took 5 years of everyone telling you.
Yeah.
And also, I'll tell you a little secret. Myself and Lauren might be doing the live stream commentary in Romania, so I'll be very, very happy when you walk out. I'll be like, yeah, she's listened, she's done it. Finally.
Your comments, I didn't hear them. Friends were watching the streaming, and they told me about your comments and everything. So you should do it. Look, person just told you you're perfect for bodybuilding. Why? What's stopping you? So I don't know.
So did you watch the Rising Phoenix yesterday?
I didn't watch it. I watched I was trying to find it on internet, the pictures and the videos to see how they did. They were all great. They were awesome.
So what was your feelings on the placings and Andrea Shaw winning again and Hella? Well, give us some of your feedback.
I like Andrea Shaw because of her symmetry, and she's like, Haley's great. Haley's awesome. But the lines of Andrea, I like them more. So I think that bodybuilding shouldn't be all about mass, but should be, the elegance as well.
Yeah.
No matter how many muscles there are. That should be the whole package of it. So that's what I'm gonna try to bring on stage.
Yeah,
the elegance, but also with the mass and the symmetry, and we'll see.
I mean, I've mentioned names like Naila Ash, Michaela Aycock. What's the other one? Like Asha Hadley.
Yeah, Naila Ash actually has a great
Asha Hadley,
physique.
But do you know what?
I'm really fond of her, but. I didn't see the pictures of her or couldn't find it. What I was listening to, she didn't, I don't know, her conditioning wasn't very good, right? I don't know if you saw the competition.
I saw it. Yeah, I've only seen some pictures, but my point is, it's like I'm happy that ladies like Margita can kind of bring exactly the same package they bought as Women's Physique, and they're winning female bodybuilding shows. So it means that the disparity. I think it's going to pull more people over, and I think the Miss Olympia now, the female bodybuilding is actually a bigger title than the Women's Physique Olympia. Yeah. That's how I feel. Well, how do you feel about that?
Yeah, I feel that way. I felt that way before, but you know, there were a lot of there were more competitions for physique before. Now that bodybuilding is coming back, they are through all year, so I can compete. It's hard for me to do the shows during the summer, as the beginning when bodybuilding started coming back. They had competitions just for summer, as I remember, I think. Not spring or autumn, and because of my job, I could do just one competition. I want to do more. I have to spread them through the year, at least that way. I work. I have 2 jobs, so it's kind of hard to balance.
Yeah.
With days off and trying to get them at the time when I need them.
So what do you do? What do you do for a living?
I work for a credit card company as a professional assistant. It's a part of the bank, so for a bank. Mm-hmm. And I work as a coach, as a trainer, helping, in my time off.
Yeah.
So that's what I do.
Which do you prefer best? Which do you prefer, credit cards or coaching?
I live in a small town, and it's not something that I can live from.
Oh, right. Okay.
Here.
Okay.
Especially when you have a kid, you have to have steady income.
Yeah. Yeah. So what's bodybuilding like in Croatia?
Sorry.
What's bodybuilding like generally in Croatia?
Not standing so good, I'd say. I think that in the past it was much better. Now it's, I don't know. We have one pro bodybuilder that could really do well. He's trying to come back in 2022. He's young.
Clancy.
He's very good. Peter Clancy.
Peter Clancy. Yeah. Do you know what? I've just looked because I was really happy to hear that he's coming back next year, because I remember him from the Arnold Europe in 2017, and I think because he works with Mauro Sassi, doesn't he? Team Stones.
Yeah.
I think he's absolutely sensational. I think he's very, very, very underrated.
Yeah. He will. I think he'll do great. He just has to set his mind on it, and he'll do great. He can do it.
Are you excited?
He started some kind of prep, but next year he said he is coming back.
Are you excited for the Miss Olympia this year?
Yeah, sorry.
Are you excited for the Miss Olympia this year?
Am I?
Are you excited for the Miss Olympia this year?
Yeah. Hope I can qualify for the next one.
Yeah. Do you know what? I'm going to make a prediction. I think you're going to win a pro show, and I think you're going to be in next year's Olympia. I really believe that.
Yeah, I always believe in myself. I'm never disappointed, with a placing or something like that, because if I'm happy with what I presented, when I give, and if I give 100% from me, and I don't know, I'm just not disappointed, and I know that I'm gonna do well.
Yeah.
I don't know which shows I'm gonna do next year. Definitely, my focus is on Romania now, and as soon as the schedule for the next year gets out, I'm gonna try to figure out which one to do in the springtime.
Good.
Depends on the traveling. It's kind of difficult now.
Yeah,
I travel to US, so I'll try to focus on this one in Europe.
I'm just, I remember you seeing it at the 2016 Olympia, and I kind of liked the fact that you just came out exactly as you were, and I was just like, wow, it's clearly like you stood out for the right reasons, even though I knew they weren't going to place you. I just knew they weren't, and I just remember I was like, look at the condition. I like the fact that you kind of just brought the physique you wanted to bring. I think when sometimes, you see them, they're trying to they don't enjoy their prep. They're downsizing to the point where they're not happy. I like the fact you just came out and you just look so good. You know, it's so muscular. It's incredible.
I was confident, but as soon as I got on the stage, I saw the judge, it's just doing this. I knew I'm not gonna.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Yeah.
I did my best.
Yep. Do you know what, Branka? The next time you do that, when you do that in Romania, they're going to be like, yes, because you're going to be first call out. I don't care who turns up. You're going to be first call out because like I said, your condition. Do you know how I would really love to see you next to? I'd love to see you next to Michaela Aycock.
Okay.
Similar height, similar structure, because we love a matchup, and you like the similar structure and size and conditioning. I think I'd love to see you two in a show together. That'd be amazing. Yeah,
I'll try to do the best now and in the next year. So I promise you, I'm gonna get that first call out.
Oh yes, well we'll be in Romania, so I'm really excited for that. So right, is there anyone you'd like to quickly thank before I let you go, Branka?
Well, just everyone, who's been here for me and supporting me, cheering for me. Mm-hmm. So that's about it. They all know. I'm just really glad that you were never discouraged from kind of getting the knockback over and over again in women's physique. I'm glad you kept going, and I'm glad that you've managed to switch now. And I just think it's going to be like when Mayla went 7th at Tampa, and then a couple of weeks later she won the New York Pro as a female bodybuilder, and they kind of get that renewed vigor and that new energy, and and I do think you're going to get a win though. I think we'll see you in the 2022 Olympia, Miss Olympia. Okay, from your mouth to God's ears. So are you definitely recording this? Okay. Yeah, she said yes. She says yes. Right. Okay, then, Branka. Well, like I said, I was like, when you got that message, was it yesterday? I was like, oh, so happy. I was so happy that you switched. And like I said, I think you're going to get the credit your physique deserves, because it's so incredible. And like I said, that conditioning, I mean, that would be impressive on a guy. And obviously for a woman to get that ripped, it's hard. It's bloody hard work. So at least you'll be first call out instead of last call out next time. Yeah. Thank you. Cool. Thank you so much. All right, Branka, take care, and we will see you in Romania. Yep. See you. Thank you so much. Bye-bye. And welcome back to MD Global Muscle here at the On the Rise Media Studio with me, your host, Giles Thomas. I'm joined all the way from Las Vegas, Milos Sarcev. Hi, Giles. How are you doing? Milos. It's a long time. Well, it's been at least 3 weeks, but I missed you so much, mate. All right. So what do you have in mind to discuss today? Hang on. First of all, I've made sure that you're the final one of the day, because you got very upset when I cut you off at 45 minutes last time. You were like, Giles, I can't believe, because we had another guest lined up. So I was like, so I made sure you're the last one. I have all the time in the world until 1 p.m. when my countryman Njegovec is going for a Grand Slam. Oh, yes. Oh, the tennis? Yeah. And by the way, because you're the British, congratulations for British US Open champion, Emma Raducanu. I don't know if you guys follow, but you should follow. Listen, this is one of the examples. It's just so beautiful. Girl was not even in a picture. She went for a qualifiers. She actually booked the flight to come back after qualifiers. She's the first woman that actually won US Open, not being anywhere on the list. She was 200 to 1 favorite. So, this is one thing to touch the subject on, when complete outsider can come in and win the biggest of the show, which I hope one of these days is going to happen in bodybuilding. I see where you're going with it. Also, she's 18 years old, which is even more impressive. Exactly. 18 years old, nowhere on a picture, and then never lost the sack. I mean, I watched all the games. I'm so impressed. I always root for the underdogs, especially something like this, and it happened. Except now, of course, that I'm not rooting for the underdog. I want my Novak Djokovic to win. I've been saying this, and I have to say this publicly. There is no question if he is the greatest of all time. He beat head-to-head Federer and Rafa. He has most titles. If he accomplished this, which was not accomplished for 60 years, this is going to cement him as the greatest of all time.
So do you think we'll ever see an 18-year-old outsider coming and winning the Olympia one year then?
I don't know. Even that could be possible. One of these. Listen, yeah, there is some talented guys that look freaky. I won't say 18. Yeah. But early 20s, yeah.
Do you remember? Because I mean, obviously that you were around in the 90s. You did every single pro show. I mean, I think the first time I saw you was the 1992 British Grand Prix.
93.
92.
I don't know. I think it was
And 93. And 93.
I competed in every Grand Prix, 91, 92, 93. So I don't remember exactly when I saw you first, but especially English Grand Prix. For me, it was always favorite. I mean, Kerry Case organizing, treating us like we're supposed to be treated, pick us up at the airport, organize the food, all the little special attention, and, Dorian was many times there competing, which, you don't expect that Miss Olympia is going to, make himself, vulnerable to lose right after the Olympia. And Dorian did every time and won every time.
Do you think we'll ever see... The reason I said the 90s is because in 1992, you had Kevin Navrone going second in his first Olympia. 1993, Flex Wheeler third in his first Mr. Olympia. Do you think we'll ever see that happen again, where someone comes into their first Olympia and goes and gets a placing as high as second?
It's very, very possible. I think you said Flex placed third at the 93 Olympia. I thought he was second and Sean third.
No, I said second. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Flex Wheeler was second. Yeah, first. Yeah, so I said.
Yeah, and Kevin Levrone was second 92. Can it happen? Yes. Listen, it is physique show, and this is something that I like to touch the subject. When you judge, I mean, you're the expert. You've been in this for decades. What do you look at when all the guys come out? Let's face it. For me, number one, the decision should be: are you going for a shape and aesthetics, or you're going for a freak and muscle mass? So these are two directions that you can get. Obviously, balance and conditioning has to be there, okay? But are you shape monster or a monster, freak admirer? This is how it is.
Okay, I'm going to throw a question at you. There's something literally just popped into my head. 2018 Sean Roden versus 2020 Ramy. Who wins?
Sean Roden.
Wow, no hesitation there.
No hesitation whatsoever, because I am a shape aesthetic admirer, right?
Yeah.
We go into the bodybuilding not to build muscle mass. We go to the bodybuilding to build the beauty of the physique, aesthetically shapely physiques. Let's face it, back in 77, 8, and 9, Frank Zen won. There was so small in comparison. So if you look at that, what was it? Aesthetics, shape, conditioning. I was just watching Sean Ray and Bob Ciccarello questioning J.M. Mannion, who was in 40-something in Olympias. And then Bob popped the question, in 1981, there's only one judge that gave it to Danny Padilla, who it was.
Fifth place.
It was his father, Jim Mannion, right?
Yeah.
So if Jim Mannion can see Danny Padilla, who is, 170 pounds with a 10-pound dumbbell?
Yeah.
Right? If you see him winning Mr. Olympia, what does it tell you? It is about shape and aesthetics. And I remember even I was in California Pro Show, and he was watching Jim, and he looks at Rafael Brandao and says, this is kind of physique I love, right?
Yeah.
So I just think that we got lost in this, freakiness, oh my God. And really, your favorite guy, Dorian Yates, brought this to the bodybuilding.
My favorite guy.
He came 93 looking like out of this world.
Yeah. Like
you mentioned, your favorite Ronnie Coleman version 2003.
My favorite, sorry, just to interrupt, my favorite all-time bodybuilder is Kevin Navrone. Not Dorian.
I didn't know that.
Not Dorian, not Ronnie, not because you just assume because I'm a Brit and because I work for Ronnie.
So,
you assume that I like, and it's not. It's not. So I'm going to throw that out there.
Good jazz, that's great. Okay, so
he's excited.
93 Dorian, 2003 Ronnie Coleman, or which version of Kevin wins?
Oh shit! But you know what though? Funnily enough, my favorite version of Kevin Navrone was when he got third in 94. That was my favourite version. Apart from when he won the Grand Prix in 97, because the British Grand Prix, I saw him backstage because I was reporting for Muscle Mag, and I saw him in one of the rooms, one of the dressing rooms, and I just saw his quad, and I just went, it just blew my mind. But sorry, what was the question?
So which version of Kevin would beat Dorian in 93 and Ronnie in 2003?
None of them. No, they wouldn't. None of them would. They wouldn't.
So how can he be your favorite?
He's my favorite bodybuilder. It's my favorite physique.
Okay, well, you see? So now you have to make up your mind. So if this is your favorite bodybuilder in competition, best version of Kevin should be the best version of Ronnie and Dorian, right? If you have to define now why is he your favorite. But I'll tell you, 94 in Germany, I was there witnessing, I think there was 1 point between Dorian and Kevin. He was so super tough. 94, Dorian came to Miss Olympia off, majorly off, especially at the pre-judging. You know how it is when you're 2 times Miss Olympia, even if you're slightly off, you know, they have a tendency to give it to you. And remember that Dorian had to deplete. You know, he didn't even load whatsoever into that Spanish show and German show. And he won, but it was very, very close.
Yeah.
You know, but in any way, you see, Giles, you know, I'm sure that you put yourself now in that predicament, like, oh shit, I said Kevin, but Kevin doesn't beat 93 version of Dorian, and that doesn't beat 2003 version of Ronnie.
Yeah, but that's my personal preference for physique. Yes, they were the rightful winners on those days, but for me, I would rather look at Kevin Nevrone's 97 British Grand Prix physique than... I think
perfect.
Yeah,
which exactly brings me back to that point that I said: you either shape and aesthetics or mass monster. So obviously, you, like many of us, purists in bodybuilding, are looking for a shape, balance, proportion, you know, beautiful body. It's Sean Roden over Big Ramy.
So. Okay, let's forget about the classic. In the Open and 212 right now in bodybuilding today, who would you say has the most aesthetic, impressive physique that fits your kind of criteria for what you like in a good physique? 212 or Open? Go for it.
212 Open.
Today.
Well, you know, it's kind of, you know, apples and oranges because 212 is considerably smaller. But then again, when you look at the winner, Sean Clarita, oh my God, phenomenal physique. I mean, he had that Ronnie Coleman wow factor when he showed up on that stage, round, rock hard. He is narrow. The question maybe a little bit underdeveloped chest because his shoulders and arms are so big, you know. So, but listen, for me, there was no question. The second he stepped on the stage, he won that show. Even though Kamal is aesthetic, right? It's my type of physique.
Okay, yeah.
You know, so it's very hard, but I'm going to tell you something else, which is very interesting. We never touched this subject. I was just in Dallas for Dallas Pro Show. And first time that I've seen that the judges gave 6 comparisons to the top 3. Okay. 3 at the pre-judging and 3 at the finals. So, you know, I said, okay, let me put myself in the hot seat of the judge. And I was making a video. And I was playing the video and commentating. So, in a pre-judging, first comparison goes between Phil Klahar, Jan Valier, and Steve Kuklo, and I'm calling pose by pose. Yeah. And for example, I remember in the first round, I gave back double biceps pose to Phil Klahar. Yep. Second time around, now, I said, look, goddamn, I would give it to Jan. You know, now the same pose, I just call it. Okay, and on and I keep changing, which I realize probably judges are doing the same thing, which I also mentioned a million times. It's not just, okay, microsecond, they saw, oh, you have everything. You have leg separation, abs are tight, everything. No, if you lose it and you present it with which Jan Valier was doing in Chicago, completely forgetting his quads. And now, front double biceps, front relax, front lat spread, you know, front ab shot. Now you're losing the shot that you could be possibly winning if you present it correctly.
Ian's been getting a lot of stick, hasn't he, for the way he hits his compulsories. People are saying some people are saying he's getting unfair criticism.
Well, I love Jan. The people think that I had something against him. No, I just always call it what I see it. So this example, if Jan contracted his quads, he had a potential to win because then his complete physique and he really have a massive quads and separated. When he relaxed them, because he doesn't have a very good calves, doesn't have anything happening on a separation right here, okay, he could lose. And this is really how it is. I don't know if judges realize, okay, it's Mr. Olympia, and they see example of Phil Heath. Phil Heath, when he stepped on the stage last year, was competitive for the first place. It was him and Rami.
Okay,
right?
Wow.
Okay, there was competitiveness there. And then at the finals, as they keep comparing them, and Phil was completely losing his midsection. He was relaxing his quads. Whoop! He slipped down to the 4th place at the finals. Okay, so Brandon Curry and Hadi Chupan passed him. I know that Dennis James is working with Big Ramy on posing, and this is really what it is. Because let's face it, we didn't discuss the other the sports. Let's say Michael Jordan, best basketball player, yeah, but he throws and misses. You just missed. You lost the game. You didn't score. You didn't do it at your best. So bodybuilder stepping on a stage, not hitting his pose, whatever it is, absolutely meticulously, perfectly. You sculpture to be made. Not your stomach is out, legs are not in. All kinds of stuff. Angles are not right. Because, okay, another example I'll tell you. And I ask you first, do you think that Jan Bellier has a spectacular, great chest and triceps? Or, okay, competitive, but for me, he doesn't have a great chest. He doesn't have a great triceps. But he looks great in both poses. Side chest and side triceps, right?
Yeah.
So these are kind of things, right? It's not what you have, it's what you show. And once you become a master of presentation, now you're getting yourself into the picture. So these are kind of points, right? Me putting myself, and I encourage you, try to really judge the show that you actually have to elaborate. Why did you give somebody first, second, third? So Steve Kukla was supposedly 30 pounds heavier than Jan Bellier.
Yeah.
I didn't see this on the stage. I look at the stage, and Jan has adjusted his wide shoulders. So he actually had a more extreme and V taper because he was tapered. And I remember back in Yugoslavia when I competed, and somebody told me, and I completely discarded it. I was super slim, small waist, and all that stuff. And, big champion at the time, Miodrag Prljevic in Serbia, he had a great abs, but he had a thicker waist. But then when we look at the physique, he looked more powerful. Well, because he's bigger, but his midsection was bigger, than mine.
Yeah.
But when I saw the pictures, I said, I see your point, okay? So unless you have a refined eye and, what are we looking for? So if I'm not wrong, judges should be looking, especially at the highest level, Olympia, Arnold Classic, and all the pro shows, it's aesthetics and shape, balance and conditioning that should matter the most. This is how I look at it. Bring back the beauty of, man's athletic, aesthetic, muscular physiques, not just bigger is better.
So, going back to my question, who would you say has got the most aesthetic physique in the Open in 212 today?
Oh. Yeah. Okay, listen.
I've got a few ideas in my head of what you'll say.
Okay, I love Brandon Curry's physique.
For aesthetics?
Aesthetics, yeah, because listen, okay, aesthetically, how do you judge aesthetics? I say that if you shut the light and you just see the silhouette,
okay,
this is the first aesthetic parameter. Wide shoulder, small waist, strict, this is it. And if you've seen Brandon Curry coming on Olympia stage with those lights shot and you just see a silhouette. It was, oh my God, this is phenomenal.
Yeah.
But then you turn the lights and then you look for the quality. So for Brandon Curry, for example, I would just like him to, get a little bit more quads and then get that chiseled deep separation, deep. He doesn't need more muscle mass, zero anywhere, right? But he needs to have that deeper abs, a little bit more cross-threaded chest. And then this is, super hard to beat. Hany Chupan, oh my God. Hany, okay, is conditioning master that, believe it or not, he still didn't bring his best condition on Olympia stage.
He hasn't.
I've seen him better.
Yeah, Vancouver, 2019. Yeah. And also San Marino, 2017.
Yeah.
But
I see him in
hang on,
Dubai live. He won an amateur show and then next day competed as a pro.
Yeah.
He placed second to Rolly Winkler. He blew Rolly off the stage. They just didn't want to give it to him.
So Milos, given that he's now got to America 6 weeks out rather than a few days out, do you think that will have a positive impact on his physique this year and we'll see the best version of Hany ever at the Olympia? What's your take?
I think so. Listen, this is consummate professional that is in shape, year around pretty much. You can't find pictures or videos of Hany being off. So he's always with very low percentage of body fat. He has that strided muscle. That's something that we love. When he hits deep abs, chest strided, everything is happening, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, they raised the issue of his deltoids, I'm sure you're aware of.
Yep.
And it just, let's speak English. All the pro bodybuilders take injectable steroids, and injectable steroids need to be injected somewhere in some intramuscular, space. And a lot of us very much, do the shoulders. So, for anybody to suspect his shoulders scintillating, it's out of the question. It's just like that's a normal part. Mm-hmm. But I think that deep tissue massages, breaking down this fibrotic tissue, can solve it and just not touch the delts all the way to the show. And then if he gets those striations on the delts as well, that puts the stamp on there is no any kind of oil or enhancement. So Hany, as you know, could have won 2019 for me.
Yeah.
And 2020, he was super competitive. Of course, Big Ramy brought it on the stage with condition. And you see, Ramy is still aesthetic, even though he's freak. Because if you, like I said, shut the lights and see the frame, it's like shoulders are twice as wide.
Milos, he had, condition aside, he had to bring his physique down to something that was more leaning towards aesthetic to win the Olympia. Is that fair?
Yes. I think so. And this is why I want to tell you, okay, cut Ramy's body in half and look at the upper body. Super shapely aesthetic. Okay, the legs bring that freak factor. Legs, really, because this is not normal to have this kind of vastus lateralis. This is sweep of like, oh my God, this is not even normal. Tom Platz had it. Paul DeMeo had it. Mustafa Mohammed had it.
Yes.
This, maybe Branch Warren, maybe not this. But listen, none of those guys were ever penalized for having freaky body part. I mean, Tom Platz made a career off of it.
Yep.
Oh, by the way, did you see Tom Platz yesterday on Instagram squatting 3 plates for 10 reps like nothing at the age of 66?
Is that with his new belt? He's got a new Cardillo belt. Yeah, I saw that.
3 plates is 3 plates, and all the way down, like, oh my God, 66 years old. God,
Incredible.
Yeah, but to get back on a Big Ramy, right? I think even Dennis James said that the biggest threat for Ramy is Hany Chupan, because Hany, believe it or not, being almost 212-pound competitor, which it's hard to comprehend, because let's say if he could have made 212 in 2019, but still decided to do, open,
he did.
That means that he's maybe 220.
Well, when he did San Marino, I was there. I was at San Marino when he came second to Cedric McMillan and he beat Brandon Curry. And I messaged Patrick Tuor, who was with Dennis James, and Dennis James says no, he's still 212 because it was only a couple of weeks after Korea. It wasn't long after. It was only a matter of weeks. And he says no, he's still pretty much that weight, you know.
Yeah, but listen, if you analyze videos from last year's Olympia, Ramy is considerably wider than anybody. I mean, especially, let's say, like William Boniak is narrow, right?
Yeah.
So Dexter was next to Big Ramy, and it was a big difference. But Hany next to him, even doing a front lat spread, he takes the space. You know, he is wide, and he's more polished. He has more of those fibers.
Yeah, he does.
You know,
he does.
deeper abs, crazy separated quads, you know, striated glutes. I mean, Hany is a major threat.
Milos.
Let's mention another freak, Akeem Williams. Akeem Williams, muscle for muscle. Yeah, right there. Yeah, on the cover. Look at that. I mean, look at that.
Do you think he's in the conversation for winning this year?
Hell yes.
Really?
Hell yes. I mean, this is what I tell you. Was Emma Raducanu in conversation for going to the finals of US Open? No. She's competitor, and she earned. Now, Akeem Williams, everybody knows for quite some time, big, thick, nothing is missing. Okay, conditioning maybe from the back, a little bit needs a tighter back, yeah? But if he brings the conditioning, those crazy legs, crazy arms, front double biceps, you see that victory pose, who can hang with him? You know, Jesus. I mean, I told Akeem backstage once, you know, listen, just keep your abs super tight. And he took it against me, which I didn't criticize him, you know, for, no, need to control.
Milos, that's good advice.
Yes, because I promise anybody, if you maintain this stupid flat abs constantly, you learn to breathe from the back. Your stomach doesn't move whatsoever. And then you have so much muscle like Akeem Williams. Chest, even if you relax completely, you can lose it. Or shoulders or arms, right? But if you relax the abs, show is over. You're no longer contender. So Akeem Williams, for sure, he has also freakiness, but aesthetic. He has a small waist, you know. He has a wide shoulders, sweeping thighs. I mean, it's very hard to beat.
Milos, why do you think Akeem, given that he's never even been top 3 in the Olympia, is in many conversations for being a potential number 17?
Because number 9, 1997, Ronnie Coleman won 98.
Yeah, but that's Ronnie Coleman. That's Ronnie Coleman.
That's Ronnie Coleman. Listen, call aliens on some other planet and put Akeem Williams next to Ronnie Coleman's physique. And they're going to say, oh, yeah, you know, this looks pretty good to me, you know?
So
it's Ronnie Coleman. Ronnie Coleman, I've been with Ronnie since 91. I know him. I follow every step of his way. I think that already 96 at Olympia, he looked tremendous.
Yeah.
You know, he did make a top 6. 97, he slipped down. But 97, as you know already, he started at the European Grand Prix Tour beating Nasser, and he beat Kevin.
Yep.
And then 98, he only lost, in 98, he lost one show to Kevin, San Francisco, the first show of the year that he competed. And then he beat Kevin in Canada and the Night of Champions.
Yeah.
And then we know what happened 98 Olympia.
Yeah.
So Akeem moved up into the top 5. And now, take Akeem with Hany and Ramy for top 3. Are they going to blow him out of the water? No. Especially if he comes a little tighter. Muscle for muscle, you know, where did they beat him? You know, so he's contender.
So you think do you think he could make the improvements necessary to be able to be in the conversation and be in that first call out with, I mean, size and structure wise? I mean, yes, he's got the muscle, he's got the structure, but do you think he's got it in him? Do you think he's actually capable of taking that next step up and beating Hany, Ramy, Brandon, all these guys?
Oh, hell yes. Okay, because Giles, you competed, and I've seen your condition was at one show was spectacular, right? So what did you do? You just grinded until you are ripped to pieces, right? And you didn't have as much muscle mass as Akeem Williams. Akeem has a muscle to spare, right? If you're his coach, what are you going to say? Okay, let's get you super lean, okay, and then super dry. You know, because even if he's somewhat flattish, his muscle pops because it's just like so much muscle. So
would you what would you do if you were his coach now? What if he came to you and he says, I want to switch coaches, I want you to prep me for the next 4 weeks? What would you do? What would you suggest?
I would bring him on the stage purposely somewhat flat, you know, because look at most of the guys 3 weeks out, 2 weeks out, taking snap pictures in the gym and all that stuff, and they all look great, okay? This is at a normal part of prep when you're a little bit lower carbs. You just have enough to do that workout. You're still maybe in a fat burning zone. You're still deficient with the calories, right? But you are still popping like crazy.
Yeah.
Okay? For guys like this, you see, for me, it didn't work. If I would shut up like this on the stage, I would be too small. I had to create illusion and blow up myself like with that super carb loading, you know, to create illusion of being bigger. And I have a deep cuts. So even if I'm slightly watery enough, I appear, you know, more conditioned.
Yeah.
You know, for guys that has a muscle to spare, yeah, you know, deplete them a little bit.
Milos, can we go to the Arnold? I really want to get your feelings on, because I'll be honest, right? I do all the previews of Ron Harris, and normally I don't even have to really think about, or I have to glance at the competitor list, and straight away I can pretty much work out who I've got where. But I'll be honest, I'm really struggling with this Arnold Classic because I'm really going to have to think hard on how this is going to play itself out, because you've got Akeem, you've got Valier, you've got Nick Walker, you've got Bonac, you've got Rulli. I'll be honest, I'm struggling, mate.
Yes. I really think, you know, before many people would say that I complain about the judging, and no. If you see, recently, I actually take my hat off to the judges because I realize what kind of job they're doing. And this is why I would tell you, Giles, also, you see the list of competitors, you as an expert for so many years, you already predict top five. You mentioned William, you mentioned Akeem, you mentioned Rulli, you mentioned certain guys that already in your mind, okay, they're going to be called. Okay, and more than likely they're going to be called, but right next to them is going to be vastly improved, much bigger now, Justin Rodriguez.
Yes,
ooh, what do we do
I'm a big fan of Justin. I'm a big fan. See, that guys like that. I mean, there's guys that, like, I prefer his physique to Nick Walker's. I prefer his physique to Hunter. I prefer his physique to a lot. I'm a big fan. Like I was talking, you know, when I was talking about aesthetic guys, and you said about size, there's a guy like Nathan Diasha with size and aesthetics, and for me, that's dangerous.
There you go. You see, but you didn't mention him. You know, from maybe cautiously,
true. Good point.
In a fear of he is not front runner. You know, there is a hype always, and it's like Nick Walker is in a big hype now. Like, oh, he's the next big thing and all this stuff. Hold on a second. You have to stand next to all these guys. Steve Kuklo.
Yeah. Sergio. Yeah. I mean, there's a guy that. Some people reckon that Sergio could win the Arnold Classic, and he's not even I'm thinking, is he even my top six or?
I mean, Jan Valier won last two shows, and there is so many guys. So, as I was saying about the judges are really, really comparing, and I appreciate that. I said that I don't have an eye like them to be able to put six people and judge far left to far right and the middle at the same time. For me, you know, this is quite hard. But they're probably glancing at when they have a six people. Then, you know, they start moving them closer to be able to compare. You know, eliminate some guys, and then they have a crystallized picture who is top three. And then they were giving, just like I said in Dallas, six comparisons. Oh my God! And if I was a judge and I assigned my list after the first comparison, it would not be the same as second and third and sixth. Like, oh my God.
Yep.
So going to Arnold Classic, there are so many guys that can actually win the contest. Again, going back to the U.S. Open and Emma Raducanu from England coming out of nowhere. Any guy, listen, Hassan Mustafa is competing, and anybody write him off. If Hassan comes super shredded, super dry, it's going to be super hard to ignore.
Yeah.
I mean, stand him next to Nick Walker then, and then, talk freakiness. You see, Nick Walker, I mean, he delivered really at the New York. He looked spectacular. But still, if you're really next to the top guy, okay, Justin Rodriguez was slightly off at that show.
Okay.
If Justin Rodriguez was 100% on, I think Justin will win that show. So now looking at all these update pictures from Justin, considerably bigger, thicker. Like you said, he has that aesthetics. He has the front double biceps, back double biceps out of this whole like Victor Martinez kind of.
Yes,
right?
Yeah, very similar, very similar. But one thing I want to quickly say about Justin Rodriguez. He's one bodybuilder that I look at pictures at 2 weeks and 4 weeks out, and I think he is not going to be ready. But every single time he comes in, incredible. I mean, if I was his coach and I saw my client looking like that 4 weeks out, I'd be stressing. But how does he do that? How does he transform so much in those last couple of weeks?
Okay, Giles. I mean, I've been there a zillion times, as you know. I coach so many people, and then sometimes you get the update pictures, and you want to hang yourself. Like, oh shit, oh man,
oh shit.
But then, if you just manipulate, there is a certain amount of body fat that needs to be lost, and then there is water retention.
Yeah.
So when I panic and I see this, okay, let me just do the test, drop the water, and see in 3-4 days, what is actually really there. And then you see it's not so much. So when I look at Justin Rodriguez, I don't see, any problem. I think like a couple of depletions, 3-4 days of low or no carbs would do it.
But isn't it funny how some guys can do, like I remember when I wanted to see to gauge my condition, I used to pull my sodium for a couple of days, and then I would see whether it was body fat or water, and then you kind of like, oh yeah, it's just water, okay, I'll put the salt and the water back in, and I'm to high, and then you feel great again, and you kind of you get your energy and your strength back, but some of these guys, I just like say Rodriguez, I mean, you get some guys who look ready, 6'7", I mean, look at Valier, I mean, he looks sensational now, he could walk on stage now. And he'd look dry, and he'd not even drop his water, not even do manipulation, and he could step on. And you get someone like Rodriguez 2 weeks out, and like you said, but the coach is like, holy shit, no.
Yes, some people walk every day looking like they can step on the stage. Yes, and some people need to have that contest manipulation. I mean, I didn't want to even touch the subject every time I talk about Max Charles, my good friend and athlete. People, Miller, stop talking. But
he's your boy, he's your guy.
You said yourself, I mean, Max comes conditioned.
Incredible. Yeah,
okay.
Incredible. Yeah.
And really, I've seen Max, many times, like, say, oh, he's not going to make it. But, he is always so confident. You just give me 3 days. And 3 days later, it's like, for the love of God, what happened? I mean, he is genetic freak that he has that in him. Yeah, and some people do.
Did you see the Austin car, the 212 from Tampa to Chicago? I mean, the guy wasn't even top. He was 16th in Tampa, and a week later, when in the preview of Ron said, "Do you think Austin Carr could be in a conversation for top 2 or top 3?" And I said, "Absolutely no chance. There's no way you can pull that back in a week." I said he needs to do wellness, not 212, because his ass is so fat.
No. You see,
and he did it. He did it.
If you see, and I've seen Austin Carr here in Vegas, right?
Yeah,
I see him. I took a picture of him. I looked at him pose. Legs were shredded. One of the best legs in the whole IBB.
Amazing.
Shredded, right?
Yeah.
Dry. Mm-hmm. And going into the show, like a couple of days before Chicago, he was spot on. And then when I saw him on stage, like I was going to cry for him. But, he comes out and look at me. I said, listen, you look like a water buffalo. I mean, you look like a goddamn...
put your Wellington boots on.
You're holding a whole Pacific Ocean, shit.
Yeah. I know, but
But that's a water, not fat. So
it looked
manipulating this,
Milos,
it was very possible.
It looked like fat as well. That's my point. I looked at that and I said to Ron, that's not water, that is body fat. And Ron was like, okay.
Yeah.
And then he did it a week later, and I was like, my mind was blown off. 26 years of doing this. I was like, okay, so it can be done.
It's deceiving. It's deceiving. I know exactly what you mean. When people see water is soft, they also attribute that you're fat, you're so out of shape. But look at him 2 days before the Chicago, thin skin, no much body fat. So I knew that he could pull it off.
He said that to me, and I was like, I kind of rolled my eyes a bit. And he said, 2 days out, I was looking amazing. And I've actually not seen the picture, so I'm gonna have to go and check them out because you've said it now, and Austin said it. And I think, so I wonder what went wrong in those 2 days. But it just shows that it can be done even in a few days.
Yeah. I've been guilty of that before also. Sometimes, you see, I try to blow up some competitor, to that exploding fullness where it's going to be a wow factor. And now, like I mentioned always, 2007, Dennis Wolf. Because, well, that fullness, that fullness attracts the attention, right?
Yes.
But it's a fine line.
Yeah.
And for somebody, you just do it to that, they don't have it that striated, separated muscle, and then it looks soft. So it's very risky. But to go back to the Arnold Classic, okay, now there are a few people. You mentioned Sergio Oliva being a dark horse also. He can win. Why not? I mean, tell me, if you're judging body part by body part, okay, you look at the frame, you look at everything that you're supposed to be looking. Sergio has great arms, genetics from his father. I mean, wide shoulders, great back double biceps, great legs. Okay, his downfall sometimes was fullness in the chest, and I know that him and Chris Cito made a special attention for that. He's now, as you see, some most muscular poses, he's looking so much fuller. If he gets in a granite condition, he is contender. Steve Kukla, oh my God. What was 285?
Yeah, 280. Yeah, because he's 6 foot, and he's a legit 280 plus. But sorry, go back. Sorry, just quickly, can I go back to Sergio? I remember the last time we saw Sergio on stage was at the Arnold Classic last year, and if you remember when they called him out in the first 5 and then the next 5, he came out and he was next to Ramy, and I'm telling you what, he did not look small next to Ramy.
Yeah, because you see, at the same show. I remember this very well. I was with Mauro Sassi, a coach from Italy, and then we look, just standing in the lineup. Ramy was as wide as Dexter and Boniak together.
Okay? Glued together.
Yes.
Yeah. I know he was. Yeah. That's fair.
Okay. And then there was Sergio, having this wide shoulders out. Yeah. It's like, oh, yeah, he's, holding pretty much not exactly Big Ramy is Big Ramy, but that's what I said. Cut them on half. Look at just upper body. It could be comparable. Of course, still Big Ramy wins. But I'll tell you about Sergio. His conditioning at Arnold was not, excellent. He was fair, and there was a moment that he was standing right next to Max Charles, who was just, so apparently harder and drier that now if I'm a judge and I see this, like, oh shit, But Sergio made a first call out and Max didn't. So this is how it is. I was saying last year that just give guys a little bit more chances. It's Arnold Classic now. It's not going to be too many events. It's going to be just Bodybuilding Classic. What else? Bikini?
Yeah, it's just it's less this year. Yeah, there's no figure. There's no 212 obviously.
Yeah, so now we are going into the show. The judges are going to have plenty of time.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, of course. Good point.
Please give them comparisons. Give now a little bit of those second call-out and third call-out chances to mix with the first call-out.
Yeah.
And see after a couple of rounds what happens. I mean, there's Lionel Bayeki, okay? We don't even mention Lionel, right? He's competing, right?
I don't know. Oh yeah, yes he is. Yes, because he's in my Arnold preview in the magazine. Yeah. I to be honest, I've kind of lost hope a little bit.
Yeah,
I have.
For one reason only, he never got conditioned. Or he is conditioned from the front, but not from the back.
Yeah, it's just if he ever got it together, my God, there's a guy. Imagine him in Max Charles's condition.
Yeah.
You know,
God,
he's dangerous.
He's a Flex Wheeler lookalike. Not exactly, but there's some comparison. Whoa. He can stand there and then the frontal legs with the Sultan of Symmetry and hold his own.
And he's big. He's a big guy. He's big. He's tall. He's wide shoulders, small waist, great abs, huge legs. It's just, I'll be honest. Like last year, I'd given up on Ramy, and then he turned up to the Olympia and blew everybody away. I like being surprised.
You should just give up on something, and they're gonna come and surprise you. So
Phil Heath coming back. I said never gonna happen.
Yeah, one of those guys. I mean, let's talk about Sang Chun Lee, the Korean guy.
Yeah. Fantastic.
I mean, everybody sleeps on him, but he's training with Flex Lewis here in Dragon's Lair. I've seen him earn his pro card. I've seen him in his pro debut in Tokyo.
Mm-hmm.
Guy has all the muscle, and I think
he's potential.
Neil Hill is dialing him in, and I think Neil is here with him.
Oh,
so
wow. Okay.
I would expect that he's going to come shredded. And if he is shredded, he is missing nothing. He has a thick musculature, great legs, shoulders, arms.
I feel like he needs to get a little bit more going on from the back, maybe the back thickness, but shoulders, arms, like structure, quads. He's one of those guys that he's like a bit of a diamond in the rough. When he kind of, gets it together, he's going to, he's already won pro shows. He's been 12th in the Olympia. He beat Antoine and he beat some other good competitors. So he's already on the radar.
On the radar. But you see, like Lionel, if he shows up in a crazy condition, which I really hope that the guys are going to be coming in a crazy condition, then that potential can come out to the full potential.
Yeah.
Now we're talking. And he's also that's one of the guys that I think he plays top 5 in Chicago. And he was still slightly off. And if he is not off, that would be the different thing. So Ruli Winkler, okay.
Here we go.
Ruli, okay. I don't know. You were in England. You saw him in England. Right?
Alicante.
No, but now in England he was competing. Oh, Alicante, yeah.
Yeah, he was. If he was 50, I've said this a few times. If he was 50% at Chicago in 3 weeks, he went from 50 to 85%. But he's on his way back, and I'm hopeful that we're going to see a 90 to 95% version of Rolly. Because if he does, then I think he's going to be really in the. Because you've noticed he's never, when the Arnold Classic is in March, he's never actually brought his A game to the Arnold Classic. He always brings it later on in the year or shows afterwards. So I just want to see him bring his all-time best to the Arnold Classic, rather than like he did the Arnold Australia when he kind of got it together 2 weeks later, brought the waist in, got under 260, and and beat Bonac and Dexter and everyone. So I just want to see him. I'm hopeful that we're going to see the best version.
I was there in Australia when he beat the Bonac.
Oh, you were there. You were there.
Yeah. And deservedly so. I mean, and I was impressed that judges actually didn't favor Bonac, who was already a champion in the same kind of condition.
Yep.
But Raleigh improved so dramatically much that there was like, okay. And he was the people's choice 2019 for a reason, right? 19 or 18?
18. Hady was 2019 and Ramy 2020. Yeah.
Yeah, because listen, when Raleigh opens up those wings, he's crazy. One thing that was always a problem with him, sweep on the thighs. Okay? It's very interesting. I don't know. I think maybe you even mentioned some crazy hamstrings from the side and from the back. I mean, he has a crazy thick leg from the side.
Yeah.
But from
his legs aren't small. They're not small. They just...
Yeah. But it's not sweeping. And there is that... one thing that I keep talking, I don't know, in some other show I talk about, it's from the hips. You have to have that hip flexor and push the knees out, and then it pops.
Yeah.
And then when it pops and it's separated, you need to use least amount of contraction, because legs, if you squeeze legs for 10, 15, 20 seconds, you're going to lose them. So it's just positioning that you can, if you master that, and you can stand like this in front of the mirror and keep your legs separated for 30 seconds, 1 minute, you're in business. Because, let's face it, you're in lineup, that you're being judged. Unfortunately, most of the guys go in the lineup, they're already completely relaxed, which pisses me off.
Me too. Like, if you think back to the 90s, you, Lee Labrada, Flex Wheeler, Sean Wright, you guys you look like statues.
Yeah, I've seen maybe one photo of myself in a lineup because I was not called right away, right? That I was off and I was pissed off that I actually even let that 1 second I was not 100% on.
Yep.
Because even if judges are looking at the first call out, they're glancing who is next. Okay.
Yeah.
But initially they come out, they drop the shoulders, relax the legs, and let the stomach out. Like, who the hell is going to call you looking like that, right?
Yeah. I know.
So your legs have to be, perfect. Abs have to be glued to the spine. Okay. But now, what I was talking about legs. Legs you need in a lineup a little bit, okay? And then you come out, front relax. Okay, already on the side relax, you can relax them. Back relax, you can relax them. The other side, right? You don't need to take legs. But when you are to the front, it's 30 seconds, 45 seconds maybe, that you're going to need to keep your quads.
Yeah.
And it's different from winning and losing. I said that in the case of Jan Valier. For me, he could have lost in Chicago because he didn't have, in the prejudging, he lost his legs every single time. And then if I'm now judging front double biceps, well, legs are relaxed, doesn't look good.
Milos, have you ever spoke to, say, like one of the judges and put these kinds of things to them and say, look, does this make a difference, or do you just assume that it does, or is it just your own personal feeling that as an athlete, as a competitor, a coach, whatever, you think that you should be always, held? That makes sense.
Listen, I mean, I'm sure that many judges are listening to the podcast like this, so they're here and, they maybe respect the opinion and don't. I just speak my mind always. I would not go to the judges and tell them how to do their job. But I recently, when I really pay attention, I salute them for a great job they're doing. But still, this is my question, what I said initially. Let's say somebody is ripped, ready, and all that stuff, and they come on the stage, and in 10 seconds of the prejudging, they look like a winner. But during the prejudging, they were all over the place. They lose the abs, they relax the legs. So what do you judge them for? Each and every pose, I give you point, or just the overall impression for 10 seconds. And I've seen that happen before. That, when you look at the guy, perfect condition, perfect everything, but posing was catastrophic. Don't open up the lats, so they may be cramping.
Yeah.
You've seen that many times.
Yeah.
Even with the big Ramy, the other, doesn't open the lats. Well, that's a lat spread pose. You're supposed to have a great feet taper. You don't have it. Oh, and on top of that, you relax your legs. Now what I'm judging? Well, this physique is phenomenal, wide, everything is straight at it, but you're not showing. What I'm saying is Michael Jordan missed the shot.
Yeah.
You miss the shot, you lose.
Could you imagine if, say, at the Olympias, Dorian or Ronnie had hit a lat spread and not got their lats out? Could you imagine, the 93 Olympia where Dorian walked out and then his lat didn't come out? I mean, can you imagine? It just would have ruined it. Or Ronnie doing that, the 2003, and all of a sudden something cramps up and it doesn't pop out. I think it would have been a disaster, wouldn't it?
Yeah, I mean,
thank God.
If there's some kind of point system and they have each comparison and you give points for each pose, he would lose that particular pose, but not necessarily the show. And I want to tell you this really because it was eye opener for me. I judged 6 rounds. And in all 6 rounds, I had a little different, So if I change my mind, maybe the same thing. Judges, they called it, but then later on they come home and they watch the video and oh shit, I didn't see that.
Yeah.
Look, all these guys are phenomenal. Now we didn't think about William Boniak. William Boniak is for me obviously defending champion and first favorite to win.
So do you know he's working with Coach Abdullah.
Yeah.
I mean, I saw a post and it said we've gained something like 8 pounds in a week or something. And I spoke to someone and he said, I'm this athlete. I had him on a few weeks ago, and he says, I hope they don't try and bring him in too full and round. because obviously he was a little bit flat at the Olympia last year. I just hope that. I mean, the thing is, Bonak's never really been off, has he?
Not really off. Yeah, that's correct.
Yeah, he's very consistent.
His legs came down from his original version. Remember?
They're back now. I think they're back now. I think they're back.
Yeah. Listen, the statement that somebody made, like he actually looked like almost he has too much muscle. There was like so much fiber and thickness and all that stuff. Yeah. The only downfall for William was he's narrow, so he doesn't, really open up that much. He's not wide, so front legs he could be taken front lat spread. People can get him on those poses.
I think he's only got one weak pose, the front lat spread. I think that's his only weak pose.
Front lat spread, yeah. Front legs. I mean, front legs is the first, for me, most important pose.
Yeah, but is it really judged? Do you think?
Well, it should be. I mean, listen. Okay. I mean, really, okay. When you think of all the guys, Kevin Levroni, the example, Kevin over Dorian and Ronnie. Are you thinking, any particular pose, or you're thinking front legs standing there?
That'd be a good question to ask a judge, actually. That'd be a good question. Yeah, because I don't think, I think of his compulsories. I think of when he's actually posing. And the only time, like I said, the only weak pose I think he's got is a front lat spread. But everything else, I think he looks sensational. His physique comes together. Yeah,
that's it. But for me, it's still, just look good standing there. This is what body, because in a normal life, you on the beach, you on the street, or in the gym, and whatever else, you don't necessarily pose. You just look good by. Your symmetry, proportion, aesthetics, right?
We want to look like Chris Bumstead on the beach, mate. I mean, come on, let's be honest. We'd all give our kidney for it, mate.
What do you say about Jay Cutler's claim that Chris can win Open Olympia?
I don't know about because I spoke to Chris and he said I want to be done by the time I'm 30. He says I want to win 7-8 classic Olympias and then I want to call it a day. I don't think he'd want to get that big. I don't think he'd actually want to take his physique. I think by the time he's won 5 or 6 classics, I think he is going to be done. I think he's going to have moved on to other things. So I don't think that's not going to happen. Even hypothetically, I don't see that. But also, I don't see anyone beating him for a few years, to be honest.
Yeah,
he's too good. What he brought last year was just so. Unless somebody else comes, like Brian Jones or someone brings something completely sensational. I just don't see him. I think he's going to be untouchable for a good couple of years yet.
Okay, well, let's touch the subject of classic physique. I was the first one that was not too impressed with Chris in 2019 Olympia.
I wasn't.
Yeah, this was not like, whoa, this guy's going to dominate for years. Yeah. As a matter of fact, I saw him losing to both George Peterson and Brian at that show.
Yeah, that's fine.
And for me, explanation at that time was, in no bodybuilding show, he would beat these two guys because they have this round muscle bellies, better back, better arms. It is, but then, I was directed that classic physique is about structure and shape only. It's not necessarily, muscle, which I realize now more classic physique shows that I'm watching. On that note, Chris came in 2020 looking like absolute freak. I mean,
it's amazing, wasn't it? I when he came out on the live stream, I just went, holy shit. Yeah. I couldn't believe it was the same guy.
Yeah, exactly.
Amazing. Amazing.
It was just a breathtaking, hold on a second. This is kind of thing, oh shit.
He built a back in 1 year as well. He built a back in 1 year.
Woo! Did he build the back and everything?
Incredible.
Legs look better.
Yeah.
Hamstrings, everything. I mean, you see him and Jan Valier doing this crazy deadlifts with 1 million pounds, and I mean, he is pretty much holding almost his own.
Yeah.
With one of the strongest bodybuilders there. Jan Valier trains like a maniac. His favorite is Dorian Yates, and he follows this heavy duty. And look at them. I mean,
200-pound dumbbell inclines.
Yeah, they got locked up in Canada, and they just work hard. And Chris brought the phenomenal conditioning structure, everything.
Yeah.
It was unbeatable right there. And as a matter of fact, I talked to him. I had a chance, to say a couple of words. I said, listen, I didn't see you winning 2019 at Olympia, but in 2020, you shut my mouth and you made me a believer. I mean, you were so dominant. And not just that, by bodybuilding criteria, I would give him victory over Brian and
by bodybuilding, really? By bodybuilding criteria?
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Seriously.
Okay. Yeah.
I analyzed that. And not just that. Listen to this. There is that video with Big Ramy and Chris Bumstead at some photo shoots.
Yes.
Have you seen it?
Yeah.
Chris looked good right next to him.
He did.
Man.
He did.
I mean, Chris, so I don't know. Maybe this is how Jay Cutler started, imagining. I still don't think that first it would be not a good idea for Chris to change. He is a poster child of the classic physique. He more than likely has years of domination in front of him.
I think at least 3 more before anyone really comes close. I think. Yeah, well, plus hasn't he still got a few pounds though? Hasn't he still got a few pounds as well? Hasn't he?
Yes.
Oh my God! It's just game over.
I'm coaching Logan Franklin. I love his physique. And
he's awesome.
He's closing the gap. How long is going to take him to close that gap? We'll see. But he is improving. Yeah. So I think at this point Chris is untouchable still.
Yeah.
And that Brian Jones. Yeah.
Incredible.
Phenomenal physique. But now, does this fit in a classic physique?
Thank you. I said that the other day and I got shit for it. And I said, how is this guy still classic? You know, that most muscular, I was thinking, that for my mind. I remember when I did classic and I could only be 91 kilo and I was like a racing snake. And I just thought, I look at this, and that's the same category, but in the pros several years later. And here's a guy that is carrying more muscle than, or as much muscle as some of the top open pros. And I love his physique, but I just think, have we lost the idea of what classic is?
Yeah, well, this is how it is also. It is like, okay, I'm going to make maybe a bad analogy, but figure competitor entering a bikini, okay? Too much muscle for this category, right?
Yes, yeah.
So I said figure for a bikini.
That works.
So this is a classic physique. Even in a Dallas show, I mean, there was a 1 point difference between Logan and Robert Timms.
Yes.
And again, Robert Timms, there's no bodybuilder that we would not appreciate his physique. His upper body, for me, is top 6 Mr. Olympia Open.
What was it? Joel Stubbs. They said it's a new version of Joel Stubbs. The back, his real bicep. I was like, my God, how is that classic?
So when I was saying before, okay, they bring the classic physique because beauty of bodybuilding, of Serge Nobret, Arnold, Frank Zane, all these classic physique guys back in the day, is start changing with just more mass, right? So they want to bring back the beauty. So I was thinking, okay, they want to bring the classic bodybuilding, so it's still bodybuilding. But no, it is classic physique. And they do have a different requirement.
Yeah.
So it's all about the structure. So that's when I don't look muscle for muscle. If you look muscle for muscle, Brian Jones is going to smoke, many classic physique, including can he beat Chris Bumstead, like arm department,
Yeah, of course can, yeah.
But it's not about the muscle. This is about the shape, aesthetics, structure.
Perfect. I think Terence Ruffin and Chris Bumstead, as they were at the Olympia last year, I think that's 2 of the best examples of what classic is. That for me is perfect classic.
Yeah, for me, perfect classic is Chris and Logan.
Logan, as well. That's fair. That's fair.
Seriously.
Yeah, he's good. Yeah, he's
all
very
due
classic.
respect to the other. I mean, Alex Cabronero is going into the show. He won last year. Steve Laurelis, I mean, oh my God.
Steve Laurelis,
but this is
that's classic.
Synergy combination of bodybuilding and the classic look. And again, I think that the direction of a classic physique, it's Chris Bumstead, the Logan Franklin type of physiques. There's more structure and shape than just raw beef and muscle and definition and,
Milos, I want to get some final questions because we've been going over an hour now.
Yeah.
Who's winning the Olympia?
Who's winning Olympia?
Make it quick. Come on.
Yeah.
Spit it out.
If you give me $1 million and you say you have to put on one guy,
I've got $1 million under the table right now.
Yeah, I would put on Big Ramy. It's a pretty safe bet because I think he's going to be improved. He is for how many weeks with 5 weeks with Dennis James. In this house, trust me, Dennis is not going to let him breathe. He's going to eat every meal, sleep on time, and do the posing 1 million times a day.
Yeah, it worked last year.
He has a structure. He has a frame, enough muscle. He's going to come shredded. So, but he's not safe. He's not unbeatable. I think that Brandon Curry, who already plays second, right?
I think they're underestimating Brandon, mate. I think they are.
Yeah. I would just, being a Brandon, I would come chisel dry as it is in Kuwait.
Yeah.
I'm serious. That's his chance because he's not going to out-muscle Ramy ever.
Yeah.
But he has that crazy X-frame V-taper that if his legs are fuller, you see, He also kind of like Rulli from a side. His hamstring is kind of hanging,
it pops out.
Yeah, it's not like he doesn't have legs, but it just doesn't have enough.
So,
and then finally, Hany Chupan. We all love Hany. He's just down to earth, humble champion, working hard. You saw him in San Marino. I saw him in Dubai. I think in Vancouver also, and Korea.
Oh, I'd have loved to see in Vancouver because that was the one that was again like San Marino made me go, oh my God, this guy's incredible.
So in this kind of condition, okay, because he has a way more striations and appearance of that chiseled, crazy conditioning like Andreas Munzer type. If he replicates that, but going against Big Ramy, I'm sure that. He's going to want to be a little bit bigger, so there is a risk. What are you going for?
So what about the 212? Because we've got some new faces coming in. We've got other guys, sort of hanging in there and making improvements. What's your feeling? Who do you think will win the 212 this year? Just give me one name.
I believe that Sean Clarida is going to repeat it, even though Derek Lunsford, that guy's posing that he posted.
Incredible.
Yeah, incredible. So he has a better structure, way better structure than Sean Clarida, way wider, much more V-taper, right?
Yeah.
So now, if they come in equal condition, it's going to be trouble for Sean. I just don't think that Derek would still, bring the same conditioning as Sean. Keon, Prodigy.
Do you think he could make top 3?
Yes. I'm going to tell you this. Also, he comes super shredded. He is in decent condition. The one thing that Keon, his abdominals, he has a little bit, that linea alba is a little bit spread.
Yeah.
So the abs don't appear so aesthetic, right? But, in many poses, that's not visible. Frontal biceps, slut spread. All the poses from the back, all the poses from the side. So if he comes in a crazy condition, oh hell, he is contender. I'm sure that Kamal, champion before that, is not coming, to play second. So it's excitement. We all want to see the battles.
Yep.
There is many good guys. I just think that it's going to come down to can Derek bring the conditioning? If Derek brings the conditioning and hardness like Sean Clarida, is going to be a contest because he is dramatically wider.
Yeah.
So he's going to beat him in front legs. He's going to beat him in front lat spread. He's going to beat him in back lat spread. I'm just hoping he retains some of the impressiveness and this muscle he's gained.
If he can still make that under 212 and bring the condition, I think Sean's in trouble, mate. And Kamal, I do.
Yes, but
I really
still,
do.
That's that $1 million question. How much do you think he weigh on that guest posing?
At least 230.
At least.
Yeah. And he had shredded glutes, and his glutes were like shredded.
Trying to say 235, 237, shit.
Crazy.
So can he really look like Flex Lewis back in the day?
Yeah.
He did say that he had to make 212, and he looked phenomenal already 4 weeks out.
225.
He was like 225.
Yeah. We've never seen the best version of Flex Lewis on stage because he said at 4 weeks out he wouldn't be doing any guest posing. So we've never actually really seen the best ever version of Flex Lewis, and we might never. If he never competes again, we'll never get to see it.
Yeah, but you see, that's the only danger that I think that Derek is going to be stepping on a scale and say, "Oh shit."
Do you know what?
Oh shit! Now I have to go in starvation mode. Now I have to drop the water and all kinds of stuff, So, oof.
Can you imagine if Hady or William Bonac had never stepped up from 212? We'd never get to see the best version of them. We'd never seen Vancouver. We'd have never seen, when he won the Arnold Classic twice or come top 3 in the Olympia. We'd have never seen that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, this is why I'm excited for Flex Lewis to step on the stage.
Yeah.
Being fully loaded like he could.
Yeah.
So that's one version we've never seen. Yes, Flex Lewis did compete before in open division, as you know, in the beginning.
Yep.
And a couple of extra shows that he did. He didn't win those shows, but he was legitimately 212 guy just entering the open.
Yeah, I was at that one in 2013 when he came third behind Ronnie Raquel in first. Rolly Winkler was second, and he was third. He beat some really good bodybuilders there. But he said he was only, I'm sure he was, this was back in the days of, what was he weighing? He said he was only 208 or something like that, 208 something. So it wasn't, and he was competitive. He was very competitive.
Flex's first show was open, and he was, I think, 7th or 8th. I forgot in which show, but
Tampa,
he beat
Tampa,
Johnny Jackson and a bunch of other guys, right?
Yeah.
So for a newcomer, a pro debut, smaller guy going there and beating. On that note,
200 pounds.
To bring back to the beginning of this conversation, Danny Padilla, Mohamed Maccabi, Lila Brada, Frank Zane, smaller guys, being at the top.
Sean Ray
is what I support. I support shape and aesthetics. Balance have to be it. If you're missing something, you already don't have that aesthetics, right? Yeah. If you're missing something, let's forget about it. Considering that balance is there, for me, aesthetics and shape with condition beats muscle mass with condition. And I hope the judges are going that direction. Milos,
we've been going at it for an hour and 15. I think that's our personal record smash, mate. I didn't even have any topics written down. I was like, God, me and Milos will just shoot the breeze and see what comes up. But mate, I think we'll probably have to get you on again right before the Olympia, mate, if that's all right.
Yeah,
right before, after the Arnold.
I want to ask you, who do you winning Arnold?
Oh, I've got to go now, so. I think Bonac's going to repeat, mate. I really do.
Bonac?
Yeah, I'm confident this alliance with him and Abdullah, I think that's going to bring good things, and I think he's going to hold on to the title.
Yeah, it's because Bonac is more than likely to bring the condition. Akeem Williams is a question mark. If Akeem brings the conditioning of Bonac, he beats him.
Well, then that's a different story, isn't it? And you got Rulli, and you got bloody. They got Sergio and Ian Valliere. I mean, it's going to be incredible. It's going to be what an exciting few weeks though we've got coming up with the shows. The Arnold and the Olympia so close together. It's going to be amazing. I can't wait. And there's all the post-Olympia shows, the Italy and Romania and Spain. It's like wow.
Yeah, it's just that one thing that if any judges and organizers of Arnold Classic watching this. We have only 3 categories, so allocate 30 minutes extra time for a prejudging to take place and all the guys to be crisscrossed. Let them be compared. Let them actually fight for the placing.
Yeah,
that's the only thing. Not just the top guys, because you'll be surprised. Initially, you didn't see somebody in the first call out, okay, but then, hold on a second, maybe they deserve it. But usually, they don't really bring them, with the top guys.
Yeah.
Bring them because top guys are going to, prove it. If they're better, they're going to prove it. Top guys are going to have no problem being compared with I never had a problem being compared with a guy that didn't even make a top 10. Yeah, good. I'm top 5. He's not even top 10. We are being compared. I just have to prove it I'm better. Okay, do the comparisons, great. Then maybe I got the call out with Ronnie Coleman and Kevin Levrone. I know I have no chance of beating them, but at least I'm compared. I go home very satisfied. I was having a chance, the opportunity to fight them. That's it. I lost. Great. But I had that opportunity. So Arnold Classic doesn't have a million classes. It's going to be perfect opportunity to give audience what they want to see.
Milos, always a pleasure, my friend.
All right.
Okay, mate. I'll get you on again after the Arnold Classic, mate, and we'll catch up and have a little bit of assessment of, and we'll review the Arnold and preview the Olympia, and we'll do this again very soon, mate. But thank you so much, as always. I truly appreciate our talks. I love them. Amazing.
Anytime. Okay, I love you guys. You guys have a great Sunday. Watch my Djokovic win the Grand Slam.
Okay. Tennis. That is tennis, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's going to be only like a 4-hour match, but doesn't matter. You got to watch it now.
Okay, then, mate.
See you guys.
Milos, thank you so much. Bye-bye, mate.
All right, bye-bye.
Bye-bye. Okay, guys, we are on Global Muscle Hot News for episode 33, season 4. That's episode 113? 113, correct? Yeah. For Global Muscle. Right, okay, then our first shout out is who we had in this episode, Derek Lunsford, the 212 superstar. Obviously, incredible athlete, Derek Lunsford. Turned pro at the NPC USA in 2017. 1 week later, made his pro debut at the Tampa Pro. I was at that one. He won that. His pro debut, 1 week after turning pro. Then he went to the Olympia, placed 5th and won Rookie of the Year. Then he placed 2nd in 2018, 22nd in 2019, and fell to 4th place last year. But obviously the huge news about Derek Lunsford is now he has teamed up with Hany Rambod for the Evogen team. And I mean, look what has happened. I mean, I can't even believe the improvements. I can't even believe the improvements Derek has made to his physique. And like I said in the interview, I mean, the magic started happening between Hany and Derek with his physique within just a couple of weeks. It was absolutely mind-blowing. So now I think the biggest improvements I can see personally to Derek is the lower body. Because when he kind of sucked it down to 212, it always seemed to come off his legs. But the density here now, I think his calves, I messaged him actually back in 2019 and said, mate, you've really brought your calves up. But basically it's given a more symmetrical package now, and I just think if he can what is he weighing there? So he said in the interview, the end of last year, he started training and living as a bodybuilder that was basically an open bodybuilder, so he wasn't trying to restrict his weight, he just basically let his body grow. But now the goal is with Hany Rambod. Hany basically talked him into staying in 212, so we're obviously the big question is, can he retain this impressiveness and remain a 212? He bastard wouldn't tell me his weight. He wouldn't tell me his weight. So obviously he's keeping that firmly under wraps. But I mean, if you obviously, you've watched the interview, I think he seems very confident, and obviously Hany Rambod is very confident that he can make 212. So I just hope he manages to retain that muscle. I mean, I think the guest posing I was talking about, that's on another Instagram page I'll be bringing up. But what he's done is absolutely phenomenal with this physique. Do we need to sign up on TikTok? Why is everyone on TikTok? Are you on TikTok? Ugh, TikTok. It was 2014. I didn't join Facebook till 2014. 2015, I didn't join Instagram. And that was because Ronnie Coleman and Brendan, who I was working for, Brendan Ahern, his business partner, they both managed to talk me into getting Instagram. So that was in 2015. So I'm always late to the party with these. Look at the condition there. Sorry, I'm back to Derek now. Get distracted. Distracted by the quads. Absolutely incredible. So do we need to sound on that? Oh, he hasn't put music on, has he? He'll put music on stuff like that when squatting 4 plates. Come on. Oh, okay. Right, 1 sec. Let me try that again. Come on. Oh, play. Oh, he does all the voiceovers. I don't need to see that. I don't like all those silly voiceovers. Sorry, guys. So, the like Martin Luther King or something, or when they're bloody curling or something. I don't see the point. But, Regan Grimes there, perfect form. Hany Rambod, show them. I tell you what, though, there's every possibility, I'm going to say this now, there's every possibility that Hany Rambod could get 3 Olympia wins this year. Hadi Chupin could definitely win the Open. Derek Lunsford could win the 212. And Andrei Ridu? The men's physique guy that there's with Evogen, there's a guy that could be the new men's physique Olympia champion. So imagine that if Hany Rambod got 3 Olympia champions in one show. Obviously, I'm going to get a lot of hate now from the Sean Clarida and the Ramy fans. I'm actually a big Sean Clarida fan, though, as you know. I've written articles and, interviewed him many, many times. I'm also very good friends with Kamalo Gagni, who I'm also rooting for. So I think the 212 Olympia is going to be, it's going to be absolutely, we know it's going to be sensational this year. Keon Pearson making his 212 Olympia debut after looking, sensational this year. We've got George Peterson as well. I think there's a guy who's is kind of under the radar at the moment that people kind of seem to have not talked about as much this year, I think. I think he's reduced his social media presence. Maybe he's just, that's usually a good sign. It means they've kind of gone to ground and they are just working. So, so Derek Lunsford, all I'm saying is if he will, I'm going to say it now, if he can retain 85% of the impressiveness that we've seen in these last few weeks, Sean Clarida's in trouble. I'm telling you that now. And thing is, but then of course, Sean Clarida is going to come back with a better package because that is what Sean Clarida does. He's an improver every single year because of the way he works, because of his work ethic, because of his year-round mentality. There's a guy that improves every single year. So the 212 Olympia this year, I think is going to be, it's going to be the best one since, kind of the Jose Raymond, Flex Lewis, Eduardo Correa, Hidetada, those real kind of Dave Henry, those pioneering years of the 212, and the 212 and the 202 was really at its peak. But so I think we're going to see an all-time best 212 Olympia this year. So hopefully maybe they can even bump up the prize money. So because I think $50,000, when it compare that to $400,000, what Ramy wins, I don't think that's really fair. So, okay, next shout out is Wings of Strength, obviously because we had the Rising Phoenix show yesterday. Let's go. Obviously won by the absolutely phenomenal Andrea Shaw. Is that a huge shock that she won? Not really, because she's the current Miss Olympia. I actually had in my head that she wasn't doing it. So I'm very happy to see that. Have you seen the car she's won? Have you seen the car she's won? And she won one last year as well. She's got the... What's it called? No, I don't want to call it the Hellcat. It was something Hellcat, because obviously when Hella won hers, Hella Cat, bit of a, so obviously Andrea Carr has won a great Shaw. So Andrea Shaw, has won a very, very cool car. There we go. Michaela Aycock there. Michaela Aycock there looked absolutely sensational. She won the Omaha this year. She's going to the Olympia. So obviously, a few weeks out from the Olympia, pick up some prize money, test the condition, see how you're doing. I saw another picture of her doing a readable bicep. We'll come to that later. That hotel room, that one that, bloody hell, before the Omaha this year, just absolutely, it blew my mind. And she's got even more impressive. Hella Trevino there. Won the Tampa last year. She was third in the Olympia last year. I was surprised actually not to see Margie Marvelous in this show. So is that a good sign? She's keeping it under the wraps for the Olympia. So I wonder if Margie could beat Andrea. I wonder. I'm just trying to think, because Andrea looks bloody good here. Wow, we got rid of a bicep. Oh, holy shit. Wow. Jesus H. Tiger. Wow. That. In fact, there's a picture I'm going to come to actually at the end where it's a close-up. It's from a different angle of Andrea Shaw's rid of a bicep, and it just, she's just phenomenal. I think could we have another Iris Kyle on her hands? Will she win multiple Olympias? And she looks great as well, very feminine. She's a fantastic representative. She's made herself very available for interviews, which obviously as a media guy, I really appreciate. Should we go through some of the other categories? I know the figure was won by Zenobia, Nicole Graham, who's been on Global Muscle. So I always like to follow up with the people that have been on Global Muscle. And, obviously, it's nice to catch up with them and see their progress. Because this is the Rising Phoenix show, with it being only 4 weeks before the Olympia, it's a good gauge for who's going to do well at the Olympia, because the ones that are coming in, like Zenobia, like Andrea Shaw, they're coming in because they know they're confident. So they're not going to come in and not place well, because then it's not good for the Olympia. Or they can give them a kick up the ass and then they know what to do in those next 4 weeks for the Olympia. There's not much on there, is it? What should we go to? Right. I know the bikini was won by, what's her name? Francesca Stoico. So how many has she won now?
Like 2.
She's won at least 2 or 3. So, I mean, you said that the bikini Olympia, there's going to be less ladies in this because you've got Ashley, who's won 6, Ashley Coltwasser, who we're also doing Olympia All-Star Tour with in UK and Spain in November. And then you got Laurelie Chapados. How many she won? 2. So I wonder how the other ladies feel. Knowing that they've already won a show, they've already got their place at the Olympia, and then they're coming in and they're scooping up all the wins. I'd be really pissed off. I'd be still pissed off. Right, okay, so who else? Who won the women's? Is this the lady that won the women's physique? Yes, women's physique. I believe this lady is prepped by Shelby Starnes, another one of Shelby's amazing athletes. It's Miss Beast. Miss Beast, what's her name? Let me check her name. This is, Melissa Tyke. No, she's already won a pro show. Yes, she's already won a pro show. Married. Owner, Be Strong Powerhouse. DM for coaching inquiries. She's already won a pro show this year. So there's another lady that was looking to pick up another pro win before the Olympia. So, let's go back slightly quickly. Again, click. So fantastic. I'm not too familiar with the other names. Let's go back. Yeah, see, there's Zenobia. Fantastic. She's awesome. Was she second or third at the Olympia last year? Nicole Graham, Zenobia. She was second, wasn't she? She was second or third at the Olympia. So, so Nicole Graham, I mean, do you think Sydney Gill is in trouble? No, not at all. She's so awesome, Sydney. Sydney's like one of those ones, as soon as she comes out, I mean, even just her walk and her presence and her quarter turns, which obviously the figure is, it's just quarter turns. I think she's like the Iris Kyle of the figure. She's just going to keep winning and winning and winning. But I tell you what, you've got a completely different style of physique or figure with Nicole Graham, World of Zenobia. She's kind of taller, she's wider, she's quite big. I mean, she could probably go into women's physique. Could she go to women's physique? We should have to bring her arms and legs up. But she's big. I mean, she's big. That back of hers is absolutely incredible. So okay then, it's not as much as I expected to see on here. The Wings of Strength, but yes, obviously want to keep up the great work. Alina Popper there with the legend Lenda Murray. I love Lenda. She's so cool. I remember in 1995 at the British Grand Prix, I got to sign I had a portfolio of all my photography, all my bodybuilding photography. And I had like a thing in the back in this folder, and I had all the little boxes, and I made them write their name and their signature and put a comment. So I had Chris Cormier, Ronnie Coleman, and she said, "What is she? Very innovative and creative." And of course, I was buzzing about that. So yeah. So I actually got an interview with GQ magazine. Yeah, a lot of history I have in this industry, and I just gone to because GQ magazine wanted me as a consultant for the 1995 British Championships at Wembley Conference Centre, won by Ernie Taylor. Sorry, I'm digressing a lot here. Sorry, I'm going off on tangents. Oh, Lena looks nice. Oh, we love Alina. Lena and Lenda, the legends of the sport. Alina was actually one of my favourite female bodybuilders. I remember when the Olympia got stopped in 2014 the last time. She was second to Iris Kyle. I just thought that if they'd have carried on the Olympia, she'd have won multiple Olympias. I think she would have. Just because she had that look that they were kind of wanting to. It was a beautiful bodybuilding look. So okay, then going to go to our next shout out is Hunter Labrada, 8th place at Olympia last year. Won his pro debut. Is it something like he's only done 8 shows and he's won 6 in his life? Yeah. And one of the ones he didn't win was 8th place at Olympia. So there's absolutely no shame in that. Now, the reason I brought this up is because... Oh, he hasn't put anything up yet. Bollocks. Right, okay. It's because he guest posed. Now, I think that's always a bit of a gamble, I think. I think sometimes if it's any closer than 6 weeks out and you're a really, really big name, like Hunter is, I think it's better to keep it under wraps and keep people guessing. Like I said last episode, be a bit like being on a first date, teasing. Oh God, I can't even. I had something in my head there and I couldn't get it out properly. So Anyway, right. So basically, I'm saying I think you should keep it under wraps at 4 weeks out. I think because I don't know. I think 6 weeks. I think Jay Cutler always had a rule. He said I won't guest pose any closer than 6 weeks before an Olympia because you don't want to see people. You don't want to see what you know. I don't know. I think it's better. It's more of a reveal than at the Olympia. It's more of a shock. You know, like going back to that first date thing. So I couldn't quite get it right there. So anyway, probably for the best. Hunter. Yeah, I just hope. I think he's going to struggle to make 8th this year. I don't think he's going to be top 6 this year. I think he's going to hold his position. I think he's going to be 6th to 10th guy, which I think is incredible. Because I think the Olympia is going to be I know the Olympia is going to be very, very stacked this year. So, but yeah, I'm really starting to see the appeal now. I think when you really look at his physique closely, he's very, very well put together. He's very complete. Frontal bicep. I like his side tricep is sensational. But he's a work in progress. But there's a guy that absolutely could be a top 6 guy. Could he be a Mr. Olympia? Hunter Labrada versus Nick Walker. I want to see this year. That's the one I want to see. Who would you have win? Nick Walker or Hunter? You think Hunter's better than Nick Walker? He's a prettier physique, but Nick Walker's freakier.
I like Hunter.
Yeah.
I like the Labrada.
Sorry?
Hunter.
Hunter. Yeah, Hunter's awesome. Yeah, I think Nick might beat him. I think Nick will beat him at the Olympia this year. But I want to see that call out. Like, I'll tell you also I want to see, which I've written about in MD this month, is more talking about the Arnold Classic because Sergio Oliva hasn't qualified yet. And it is unlikely I think he's going to win the Arnold Classic because, I mean, you've got Bonac, you've got, Rodriguez, you've got Valliere, it's Rulli. It's going to be very stacked. So, but I think I want to see Steve Kucklow and Sergio again next to each other on stage because the last time they competed against each other, Steve just beat Sergio to take 4th place and Sergio was 5th. But obviously they both, Steve did the Texas Pro the other week and took a very close second to Ian Valliere. He's looking sensational as well, Steve Kucklow. Wow. I mean, I don't know whether it was just a post pump or filter or I don't know, but he's definitely gunning for the Arnold Classic. He did say to me last year he actually wants to win the Arnold Classic. But I mean, obviously, they all want to win the Arnold Classic, mate. But yeah, not much on there actually from Hunter. But Hunter Labrada, hugely popular. I would have got the bigger fan base, Hunter or Nick. Yeah, Nick's got the bigger fan base. Yeah, I mean he's got like a huge fan base. Right, okay. I'm going to go to Andrea Presti. Andrea Presti, who was on Global Muscle, I forget the episode now. It was about 4, 5, 6 weeks ago. I had him on. Who did I have him on? It was with Emilio. We're talking about Maro Sassi there with his coach from Team Stones. Ooh, bollocks. Maro, great guy. And actually, Maro messaged me the other week and he said, Giles, can you get Andrea on again? And I said, well, why doesn't he do Ronline? Because that's a different take and a different angle and a different style of interview. And then I'll get you two on again right before the Olympics. Because I think the big thing is that we need to point out is Andrea Presti is the first Italian, certainly open bodybuilder since 1993, where it was Morosani. Sorry, that's Morosani. That's that guy. Morosani. I think he's dead now, actually. I think he died. I forget why he died. But he didn't make top 15. And also Flavio Bascinini, the 4'11" guy. I don't know. I think he was actually from Italy as well. I know he's Italian because he might be an Italian living in America. But so there was 2 Italians. And there's not been an open bodybuilder Italian in the Olympia since. So this is a big deal. And the bodybuilding, with Yamamoto being an Italian-based company, it's a big deal, So it's obviously something we want to celebrate and something we really want to get behind. And the thing about Andrea Presti is I don't think people realize how big this guy is. I mean, he beat Vlad, he beat Tim Buddersheim at the Portugal Pro. I mean, he's like a 270 guy, so he's tall, he's wide. I assume if he's posting this, now he's sponsored by Yamamoto. is this is a pro show in Rome on October the 17th. $40,000 prize money for just the Open, $10,000 for men's physique, a 2022 Olympia qualifier. Now I'm assuming Ruli's doing this one because he's on the bloody poster, and I'm assuming Andrea is, because obviously it's on his. I think he said in Global Muscle when I interviewed him a few weeks ago. I think he said he is definitely doing this one. So that's going to be a great show. One maybe we'll have to get our asses over to. So hang on, let's go. Hang on, go complete tangents here. Let's talk more about Andrea. Okay, yeah, he's just yeah, that's a good picture. That's a nice picture. Got lovely blue eyes, isn't he? That's what bloody Mauro kept saying. He said this. I can forget what he said now, but he was the fact that he mentioned his lovely blue eyes. Look at that. Cool guy, Andrea, and his English is getting very good as well. So, and I made a bet. I said that him and Vlad Suhorochko were going to be the hardest and driest guys at the Mr. Olympia in the open class. So I think that is. He said to me that challenge was accepted. So look at that. He's awesome, isn't he? He's so awesome. I think to be that heavy though. He must be like 6 foot. Look at that. Look at the fullness in the chest and shoulders. He's a beast. And also he used to have kind of he used to be criticized for his kind of arms and his legs, but he's definitely they don't look like a weakness now. Yeah, it looks awesome, doesn't he? So awesome. So what do you want to see? Pick one? Pick a video? What about the leg one?
The leg one.
Do you want to see his legs and glutes?
Yeah. What's
he doing? Oh, he's doing the sushi, the ass roll. I'll have the ass roll, please. Ass roll. Yeah, so that's so he's copied that off. Well, he's not doing it as well as. Oh no. Oh, he's playing. Fantastic. So yeah, he's trying to copy Lucas Estladel there from the Czech Republic, but he's doing a good. You can see the striations through his bloody pants. I mean that is impressive. Oh, my special piano lessons. Ludwig van Beethoven. You said Chopin, didn't you? Did you just say Chopin?
I said copyright.
Oh, okay. I'll let you off. Right. Okay. So this is the shot I posted on MD Instagram the other week. Look at that. Yeah, he's awesome. Awesome. And it's nice to see guys doing progress shots in freaking underwear. So, God, it's annoying me that is. I got shit for that, you know. Someone saying you shouldn't say that they shouldn't be, it's each to their own. And I was like, no, I don't want to see like that. I don't want to see that, like this shot here. I want to see some clothes on him. I don't want to see him naked or with a bloody emoji over his wiener. I don't want to see that. It's like, it's not. Yeah, he's awesome. But yeah, I just don't understand why guys are doing that. It's like, oh, you need to see. I mean, look at this, right? Okay, take this for example. Right, and obviously, just say he was in a hotel room and he had no pants on. Would you see more of the conditioning by seeing that little bit? I don't think so. I wouldn't be like, oh, I thought he was shredded before, and now he's like, oh, really see the condition now. It's like, no, actually, I want to vomit. I don't want to see guys bumholes, please. It's just no need for it. It's disgusting. So please stop it, or I will get very mad and turn all green and whatever. Right, okay, next shout out is Coach Little Joe. This is Joe Seaman, prepped by a Canadian athlete, prepped by Patrick Tour, a good friend of mine. I'm impressed with the gains Joe's made, actually. And I forget what he's up to now, but this guy's a legit like 270. This is a big dude, man. Because he didn't do so well last year. I think he got 9th. I've got 9th or 10th in Chicago last year. And he'd been 4th at, was it Toronto? I think the year before. That's what I've got in my head anyway. But yeah, he's really been working hard this last year. In fact, I'm probably going to have to get him on, I think, next week on Globe Muscle. Because it's really nice to see the progression Joe has made with his physique. And also, like, I remember the first time I interviewed him and he was very, very kind of shy and kind of withdrawn. And then the next time he came on, he had this kind of new confidence about him. And it's nice to see that kind of progression of just him. I think it's fantastic. That's not his best shot because he hasn't got the smallest waist. Actually, I put a comment, I says, do you know what? When you can see your upper chest in a rear shot, that's impressive, isn't it? Like when you can see your upper pecs in a back shot, that is bloody impressive. I mean, that's goals. That's goals. It's like when you can see, like Chris Cormier, you could see his hamstrings in his front lat spread. Because he had such thick, chunky hamstrings because he used that thing with his legs apart, that front lat spread. And you could see like his hamstrings popping through. They were that freaky. It's crazy. But if you can that's the goal. That's the goal I'm setting everyone now. You're going to be able to see hamstrings in a front lat spread and your upper pecs in a riddle bicep. So there you go. So there you go. That's the new criteria for the Olympia. For the Olympia judging guys. Oh, he looks good, doesn't he? He's dry. Yeah. I like his physique. Strong motherfucker as well. Ooh, sorry, I need a swear jar. Might be quite full by the end of the show. So I'm sure I've seen some better pictures in this. I think maybe one of the other... Look at that. Oh, look at that. How many weeks out is he there? As Phil Heath would say, this isn't even my final form. So he's 4 weeks out there. I mean, when you get those... See these little bits here in the quads? You know, like William Bonac has that in his side, in his glute and his ham sidey bit. But between the quad and the hamstring, it's like the skin is so tight and stretched. It looks like it's about to tear. You get that with, look at that. See that little line there? That is goals. That is a physique goal. So upper pecs, hamstrings, and little splitty bits on your legs, please. That's the new standard going forward now for the Pro League. They've messaged me already about it. So no bullshit, relentless transformation. Yeah, I think we'll get Joe on next week. Canadians are very polite. Very polite. Chris Bumstead, super polite guy. Super polite. We need to do a tour, Chris Bumstead. Just keep that to yourself. So, yep, that's one of the goals, I think. It looks good to me in his shirt and trousers. Looks smart there. Very well-maintained beard. I'm assuming this is someone he knows. Oh, it's his wife. Okay, that's good. Right, okay, yeah, so there's not a huge amount on there, but look at that. So, anyway, but Joe is coming to the Arnold UK. Do you think he could beat Tim Buddersheim? Nathan Diasha? He's going to be first call-out, I think. I think he's going to be first call-out. I think he's going to do really well. Yeah. I think he's going to do well. I don't think he'd come all that way if he didn't think he was going to do well. Yeah. But I wonder how the travel works from Canada to UK.
Don't know.
Yeah, because Canada's been really, not as bad as Australia or South Africa, but I think the travel restrictions have been, I wonder if he's already got plans to be here, or do you think he'll be here soon? Get him up. Get him in the studio. Oh. Joe, if you're in the UK, come to the studio and let's do an episode together. You'll take your mind off dieting. So 5 weeks out he is there. That's incredible. Look at that. He's really, I mean, he's got little striations there going on 5 weeks out. So Patrick is really bringing this guy in. And what's the obsession at the moment with everyone deadlifting? Ian Valliere, Chris Bumstead, Tour's athletes, Joe Seaman. I've never seen deadlifting so popular as it has been recently. Everyone's deadlifting now. It's like everyone. Even that little Chinese lady, the Bian, she was doing partial deadlifts for 2 reps, like with 4 plates, which I don't see the point of doing, really. Partial. Do you know what I hate is when they put like 8-9 plates aside and they pull the racks, they probably pull it like 3 inches off pins. You know, they're literally bringing it, like the hands are there and the bar's there and they're pulling it up and then they're smacking it down and they're making a noise, they're screaming and shouting, stop it. It's really annoying, that, actually. It's really annoying. It's just lower the weight and do a proper deadlift. Work for Dorian, work for Ronnie Coleman. So here endeth the lesson. Right, okay, God, it's getting dark, isn't it? Yep. Getting dark early. Right, okay, next one is Nathan Diasha. Oh my God, I'm so excited to see what Nathan's bringing to the British Grand Prix and obviously the Olympia. I mean, he look great in Alicante.
Spectacular.
4 weeks prep, and he assured me, I tried calling him out, I tried saying he was bullshitting, but he said, no, Giles, seriously, it was a 4-week prep. I mean, he was in the hotel quarantine, something like 5 weeks out. He did it. He beat Rulli, his old training partner, which was absolutely fun, which he said was a huge deal for him, given that, you know, obviously he came second to him at his pro debut in 2016, the Body Power Pro, second to him at the Arnold Europe 2018. No. Prague, EVL, second. So he's been second behind Ruli. And he really wanted to beat him. And he did it this year. So that's a huge step forward. Also, he's with Fouad Abiad. Great to see as well. Very, very good to see that. It's good to have a good sponsor because obviously he's had a lot of shit, Nathan, last year and a half. And he's all he tried to do was try and keep his business open. But he's had, well, you know the story. If you've, here we are. Hang on. Is this music or? Oh, look at that. So this is how he's looking with I know it's awful bloody footage. But if you look closely, I mean, I'll be honest, when I was at Alicante, I did the live stream commentary and he looks, I'm glad he's back out. Is he in Kuwait here or is he in, what's the other place? Abu Dhabi, not the other one. There's Kuwait and there's another one, Dubai, where they've got another oxygen. But basically, he's out there now prepping properly for these shows. So it means he's completely immersed, in basically eating, sleeping and training. So I think he looks freakier. I think he looks bigger here than he did Alicante. I think the extra few weeks of prep, yeah, he looks good, doesn't he? I mean, don't get me wrong, he looked fun. I think his legs look bigger here. I think he's been, because Ahmed Askar, the coach, I mean, when we had Vlad Sorochko on, I mean, he said he thought he trained hard, and then he trained with Nathan and Ahmed Askar, and he said it's like, he said heavyweight for high reps, and they do drop sets. I mean, they put everything into their training, and these guys literally, they kill these guys every single day, and this is why you've got the Ahmed Ashkananis, you've got these incredible athletes, Brandon Curry, obviously Mr. Olympia. I hope Nathan can get to America this year. You're just blown away, aren't you? You're just staring at the screen. He does look good, doesn't he? When he hit that front lat spread next to Ruli, and it was like, holy shit. And I think when he hit the front lat spread next to Ruli, I think that's when everyone knew that Ruli was going to get beat, wasn't it? And Ruli was like looking much better than he was in Chicago, kind of much back to his old self, still not 100%, but he was a hell of a lot better, and that was all done in 3 weeks. So I'm really feeling optimistic. Personally, I don't think anyone is going to touch Nathan at the Arnold UK. I don't think anyone's going to touch him. I think it's he's training in there. Oh, bless him. Yeah, good on you, Nathan. You have 7 pro wins. Undeniably, UK's number one. I mean, purely on statistics. I mean, there's but he's such a character. Such a character, Nathan. He's I remember when he won the British in 2014, and I think he dropped 6 kilos because he was supposed to be a super heavyweight, and at the last minute his coach decided to bring him down to heavyweight, and he went from 106 kilos to 99 kilos in 1 week. So he lost like 18 pounds, 7 kilo, 18 pounds. Yeah, and to bring him down to heavyweights, and he just blew everyone away. James Hollinshead won the super heavyweights that year. Is that correct? I think so. Yes, that's correct, yeah. And he won, and it's, amazing athlete. Right, okay, next shout out is Lucas Coelho. I'm telling you, watch out for this guy at the Olympia, new face, a Brazilian athlete. I've written about it, actually. Just quickly go to my MD Globe Muscle Buzz column. I'm talking about Lucas in my column, MD Globe Muscle Buzz, along with William Martins, another Brazilian athlete. I just think this guy is going to be, he could be top 5 at Olympia. I think he's going to rub out some very, very big names. I mean, look at the front wall bicep. He's just, what a freak. Look at that. I mean, that doesn't even look real. That looks like a freaking cartoon character. I mean, thing is, the frontal bicep's the first pose they asked you to hit. And if you hit a pose and you're a newcomer and you hit that pose and he's going to be shredded at the Olympia, he's going to be in fantastic condition. I tell you what, this guy's going to be beating some very, very big names, well-established names in the 212. I'm telling you, it's going to happen. So, new face, won the Portugal Pro. I've been raving about this guy for months, even before he made his pro debut in Portugal. Is that Danny Castillo? I think it is. Yeah, it's Danny Castillo, the women's physique. So obviously that's his teammate. Obviously, is this to do with a sponsor? Where are they? An airport. Oh, they're an airport. Freaking Apple shop. How can I help you? Look at his arms. He's such a freak. Oh, shit. Oh, there we go. Oh, did it again. Oh, sorry, I'm just zooming in on those freaky arms. Look at that. What's he got on his hand? Is that a knuckle duster he's got tattooed on his hand? Oh, that's so gangster. Shall I get it? Shall I get a knuckle duster? No? Okay. Definitely not. I wouldn't suit it. Right, okay. Right, okay. Here we are. Look at this. I think this is at Portugal. No, this is in 4 weeks out. So I'm telling you, watch out for Lucas Coelho in the 212 Olympia this year, because I tell you what, we've got a new superstar in the 212. I think I'd be very, very shocked if he was not, if he's not in first call out, he's absolutely going to be second call out. And I think he's going to be one of the new kind of names that kind of fits into the order of things. I think I could see him 4th to 6th in the Olympia. I think that's a real possibility. He looks like a predator, doesn't he? Get to the chopper. Right, okay. Let's show a little bit of a video. We've got to see this guy in action. He's incredible. And the thing is, about his physique, it does translate. Oh, hang on. It does translate to the stage because he obviously won Portugal. Oh, no. Take the stupid music off. Yeah, he looks great. Knows how to pose as well. Look at that. Let's have a look. Yeah, looks great. I wonder what he weighs there. I wonder if he makes weight easily or kind of struggles. So here he is winning the Portugal. Yeah, so he it looks very polished, very conditioned there. He looks badass, doesn't he? Looks like something out of a bloody, I can't think. Some sort of, I don't want to say. Okay. Right, okay. So watch out for Lucas Coelho, Brazilian. Lucas Coelho, 212, the chosen burr. And does that mean chosen one? Future Mr. O212. So this guy is speaking it into existence. So, okay, next shout out is, press the wrong button. Okay, is Hany Rambod. Yes, obviously, Hany, as I said before, with Derek Lunsford, he's got Hady Chopin, who he's now brought over from Iran 6 weeks before. He's got this guy. Let me get this guy's name right. I don't want to get it wrong. Andre. This is the men's physique guy I was telling you about. This is Andre Edu. Yeah, so this guy, I think was he top 5 at Olympia last year? But see, that's men's physique. Some of these guys, I look at their physiques and I see them as more classic or bodybuilders, but he literally looks, I think that's the perfect size. See, I think that is a really good look for men's physique. And I could definitely see someone like that winning the Olympia. So fingers crossed for Hany Rambod, because how cool would it be if he, imagine if Hady won the Open, Derek Lunsford won. Oh, here we are. Sorry, I get distracted. Derek Lunsford won the 212, and imagine if Andre Edu won the men's physique Olympia. Imagine coming away with 3 Olympia champions, especially after when he prepped Jay Cutler, Phil Heath. I mean, it's to be a coach and to have a high-profile athlete. If you then repeat that again and again and again, it proves that it wasn't a fluke. It proves it wasn't a fluke, because sometimes you get these coaches and they'll have one athlete that does really, really well, and then that athlete retires or they go and work with somebody else, and that's it. They kind of fade into to relative obscurity again. But Hany Rambod's a guy that just, he is the real deal. He's the real deal. I've done wrap-ups with him and Flex Wheeler at the Olympia 2019. Cool guy. This is the guest posing I wanted. Look at that. Oh. And this is what Derek Lunsford wouldn't tell me his body weight was. See, look at he'd never had that density in his legs before. I estimate he's probably, see what I mean? His glutes come in first. His glutes are the hardest bit in his whole body. How is that even possible? Oh, there he is. He's awesome, isn't he, Derek Lunsford? Oh God, I don't know what I'm doing. Let's just leave that on. Yeah, it's that readable bicep. Look at this. Look at that. Boom! Oh, shit. Oh my God. I just hope we see 85% of that on the Olympia stage, because I'm telling you what, he's not going to be 4th place again this year unless something really goes horribly wrong, which I'm with Hany Rambod in his corner, they won't do anything drastic. That's the shot. That's the one shot I like. Really good shot. But look at the condition in his quads. I mean, it's sensational. So I just want to give some acknowledgement to the fact that Hany Rambod and Derek Lunsford and all his athletes, I tell you what, they're just going to be, there's potential 3 winners there. I think Rami's going to have his hands full with Hady this year. With Hady getting to the Olympia 6 weeks before, not a few days before. I think we're going to see Hany at his all-time best at the Olympia. Right, okay, next shout-out is JH_ the American Bully. This is Jason Hebert. I saw this guy on some of the live streams. He's popped up, and he really stood out for me. I think he's got a really nice physique. Here he is at Texas Pro, run by Freddie Nadeau and Sheila Brown. And obviously the queen of bikini, Angelica Teixeira. Actually, who would you say is the queen of bikini? Ashley Kaltwasser. You got to, because you're doing a bloody tour with her. Right, okay, so Jason Hebert. Yeah, so look at this guy's physique. I mean, he's had some good placings. He's been top 6, I think, at least 2 or 3 pro shows this year. I think we'll have to get him on. Let's get him on for next week, because I want to find out more about this guy, because I think he has got a lot of potential. And I hate that word, but it's so overused. But there he is, 4th from my second show as an amateur back in 2014 to my 4th pro show in 2021. No logbooks were used during this time. So, he's sponsored by Gasp. IKEA. Oh, like I thought it said IKEA supplements. So I didn't know IKEA were doing supplements. How does that work? Assemble your own protein bars. Right, okay. Yes, like I said, I just want to give this guy some acknowledgement, because he's new to the scene. I wasn't aware of him before this year, so I'm assuming 2021 is his first year competing as a pro. Look at that. Yeah, he's really good. Really, really good physique, this. I'd be interested to know what his body weight is as well. Oh, and he's prepped by AJ Sims, Cement Factory. So this is why he's cut. Look at his midsection. I think the quads and midsection are spectacular on this guy. Absolutely spectacular. Look at that. Shrink wrapped. That is so cool. It's what we call shrink wrapped in the business. Right, okay. Yeah, okay. Well, I think we'll get him on, so we'll find out more about Jason. But yeah, what a fantastic newcomer to the 212. Okay, going to go to Sulio's, because he's always good for all the latest news. I've completely forgot why I brought his up. Maybe if I scroll through, I'll be triggered. Nope. Oh, yes, it was. Yeah. Margie. Now, when I saw this posted, it's 30 days from the Olympia, not the Wings of Strength. So why did she not do the Wings of Strength, the Rising Phoenix? Is it because she wants to just give her all? Because Margie was second to Andrea Shaw last year. And you would have thought that, being 4 weeks out and being one of the front runners, she would have been picking up a decent amount of prize money. So either that's a very good sign or it's only a good sign. Has to be a good sign. No, it has to be. But I mean, Margie, she's the runner-up. So could she beat Andrea Shaw? Personally, I think what Andrea Shaw brought yesterday, if she duplicates that or even tightens it up, or even more, I don't think she can tighten it up. I think she's going to be. It's going to be tight, isn't it? It's going to be really, yeah. I think it's going to be. Well, we'll see. So yeah, I just wanted to bring up that one. Really, nothing else on here really that jumps out at me as interesting. Right. Okay. Next one is MD. Reason I'm doing this is because we have. Can you add some cheering noise, please? We made 300,000 subscribers. Feels like only just a couple of months ago we got the button for 100,000. So MD's subscription for the YouTube, obviously we host shows like Global Muscle, Buff Bombshell, Dr. T, Ronline. I've probably left out loads. I'm so sorry. Kevin Navrone, Jose Raymond. So we're growing fast. So the next target is 1 million. So it's only 700,000 people to go, please. So yep. Oh, Lauren Lotter, well done. Giles Tiger, yay! Your host Billy, congratulations, teamwork. There we go. Yeah. So Buff Bombshell. So we reached 100,000. So I just want to acknowledge that, and that's it really. Right. Okay. Next shout out is we better get a move on because we've got our final guest very very soon. Is Laurelie Chapados, the lovely Laurelie, who we've had on Global Muscle once or twice. I'm sure I've had on her twice. Yeah, twice. Once, twice. No, on your show as well. Buff. 3 times. Well, no, I'm just talking about Global. It's all about you, dear. Right, okay. Laurelie Chapados, the reason I want to mention it is because, again, she's done another pro show before the Olympia. She was already qualified, wasn't she?
She won.
What show did she do before? She won Tampa. Was it Tampa?
Oh.
You can't remember, can you? There's so many bikini shows. So she's going into the Olympia this year with 2 wins. Ashley's going into the Olympia with 6 pro wins. What's that? 6 pro wins. And Francesca Stoico, 2 or 3 wins. But I like Lauralee's. Was it Chicago? She stepped back a little bit. What was the one was it Tampa then Chicago?
I'm sure she won Chicago.
Well, she won one and then she did another one and she got, what did she get?
She came first to Chicago and I think 4th.
Yeah, but the one that she won, I think, was Chicago. Yeah. She looked like a potential Olympia winner. I mean, I think, yeah. I mean, she looks lovely then. She looks fantastic. Very muscular shoulders for bikini. Mm-hmm. Is that too muscular for bikini? Or, well, obviously not. She just won a second show. So yeah, just want to give her a shout out because we love Lauralee. She's ace and very tall. Yep. Okay. Next one is Michaela Aycock, who we had on Glow Muscle a few months ago after she won the Omaha. The reason I'm mentioning her again. Hang on a minute. She's 26. Wow. Oh my God. She's incredible. How are these athletes so good so young? Vlad Sorochko, Vlad the Impaler, Derek Lunsford, 28, Martin Fitzwater, Regan Grimes, God, they're incredible. Rafael Brandeo, all under 30, and they're all like well-established names. And the reason I want to bring this up is because she's done the same hotel room readable bicep again, which got everyone talking about her. And she's actually stepped it up again. I mean, look at that. How is it even possible to get condition like that on a human being, let alone a female? I mean, look at that. I mean, that's skinned. She's obviously stayed on her diet completely since Omaha, which was months ago. Yeah, it's impressive, isn't it? That was months ago. I mean, and she just took 4th at the Rising Phoenix. And obviously, Michaela switched from women's physique to ladies bodybuilding. And she's won a show. She's come 4th in the Rising Phoenix, which is really a precursor to the Olympia. I mean, really, apart from Margie, you've pretty much got the Olympia lineup there. Yeah, pretty much. So, I mean, and do you know what's crazy? The condition here is actually even drier than her upper body. I mean, it must hurt to sit on the toilet. Seriously. I mean, I've been so lean that it hurts to sit on the toilet. No, seriously. Dorian Yates said that he got so lean, he said the pads of his feet used to hurt because he got so lean. His body fat levels got so low. I mean, oh my God. I mean, you couldn't sit on a hard chair. No, you couldn't. With glutes like that, that's impressive. I mean, that's what you call dugout. Really dug out with a bloody scalpel. But so Michaela, so she's done it again. She's still going. We love Michaela. She was such a lovely interview. She was and a mum as well, Melissa, who was there. So it was nice to see her as well. So bloody hell, she got $7,500 for 4th. Wow! I'll tell you what, Jake Wood puts his money where his mouth is. Yep. I can never understand why anyone would be anything other than respectful and wonderful to someone like Jake Wood, because I tell you what, the money this guy has pumped into female bodybuilding, and he's the reason why it's come back to the Olympia. Well, partly because he bought the Olympia, but gone September 11th as well. Yeah, God, that's poignant, isn't it? Must be for Americans anyway. Yeah. We'll come to that next anyway. So Michaela, wow, 26. There she is at we've already brought this photo up. But there she is, 4th place, Hella Trevino. Hella Trevino's like old enough to be a mum. Yeah, no, it's incredible because the female bodybuilders, they just go and go and go for years and years. They just actually get better, whereas the guys kind of. I wonder why that is. Do you think it's what they take, or
no idea? Why
do the women seem to get better? The guys kind of dip off once they really get past 40. But most of the female bodybuilders actually improve. I wonder why that is. Have you ever seen, and they never seem to get injured, female bodybuilders, because they obviously train sensibly. I mean, have you ever seen a rip pec on a female bodybuilder?
Oh, God.
No. Female bodybuilder. Yeah, anyway. Right, so and obviously we got Andrea Shaw, current Miss Olympia. Look at her calves, fantastic. And this is Mona, I forget her name now. Let's go, actually, I don't want to get her name wrong. It's disrespectful. So, Mona Porcelet. FHP-PHS. What does that mean? So she's got a great placing there. Okay, yep, cool. Right. Ooh, no, it's not playing ball. I'm going to go back. Right, okay. Yeah, so Michaela Aycock, fantastic athlete. And I'm really excited to see what she's going to be bringing to the Olympia this year. So, yeah, absolutely amazing. Right, okay, and final shout-out is the athlete who we've had on this episode is Branka. Okay, I was telling you about the condition and the muscularity. I'm so glad she switched now. So this is what Branka was bringing to the women's physique. And obviously the judges were just like, oh God, you're too muscular, too muscular for the category. So she was always getting knocked back and unplaced, and yet she was bringing this condition time and time again. I mean, the dryness and the condition is absolutely phenomenal. So I mean, it's her legs though. They're just, look at that. There's so much dense muscle on her lower body. Her calves as well, incredible. Oh, there's Margita. She won, didn't she? Yeah, she won. And Prenga, yeah, the Thai lady, she was second, wasn't she? Or she third? Yeah, she was amazing. But yes, but I love the fact that she just kept bringing the same package. I mean, she refused to downsize. She only stuck with women's physique because she wants to get to the Olympia. But now, obviously, partly because the Olympia is back, she's finally decided to switch back to female bodybuilding. So I can't wait to see what she's going to bring. And it's going to be nice to see her in the first call out and not the last call out. Fantastic. And do you know what? Oh, it's Sybil. I gave her a big hug. I saw her. Do you remember? You saw her? Yes. This is Sybil Peters, grandma. Yeah, this is Ruli's old coach from... I say Ruli because, I mean, she's been around. I remember when I went over to see Ruli in 2011... And Barry DeMay came over and he said, Giles, look, he says, Ruli's a recent thing. He says, she's been training he said she was training me in the 80s and 90s. She's been doing this for 30 years. Like I said about the high profile client. She's incredible. She's incredible, Sybil. I'd love to get her on actually. But look at that. Holy shit. Wow. Oh my God. Look at the veins on her hamstrings. That's crazy. I look at that's what I mean where the skin's tearing, the condition's so bloody tight. I mean, what a phenomenal athlete. Absolutely phenomenal. I mean, like I said, I'm just so happy that she's going to get the recognition she deserves and the placing she deserves in female bodybuilding, because this will obviously be rewarded. But what a phenomenal athlete. Wow. Absolutely incredible. Great abs as well. Very thick, dense. You know, it's a good picture. Good picture. Need a good picture.
There, to the right.
Which one? That one?
Yeah.
Let's have a look. Yeah. Yeah, she's awesome. I just think it's I'm excited to see what she's going to be bringing to Romania, because at least when she's in Romania, she's going to be judged as a female bodybuilder, and the criteria of her physique is, you know, it should be rewarded more than it was in women's physique, because women's physique she was kind of over. She was over the limit for a number of years. So, so I just want to give that some acknowledgement, really. Okay then, guys, hope you've enjoyed this episode. Of course, we want to, obviously, this week it was the anniversary of 9/11. So, obviously, with most of our viewers being American, want to kind of acknowledge that. Do you remember where you were?
I was 9.
You were 9? No, wow, okay. Well, I'll tell you what, I was at work for a supplement company in Newcastle, and it was on the internet. And I remember watching, because it was really tiny, very bad resolution, because you can imagine the internet in 2001. And I remember it was shocking. And then I remember the boss's son ran in and he was saying, Nostradamus predicted this. And I was just like, what are you talking about? And then I remember, and a few weeks later, I went to my first ever Mr. Olympia, 2001, and the travel and every bit of turbulence. It was a very, very awful time for America, for the world. So I just want to acknowledge that, because obviously that's, 20 years later, we all remember where we were when it happened. So, okay. All right then. Okay, guys, hope you've enjoyed this episode, and we'll be back next week with more interviews and hot news, and I think we need to do another retro review soon. Do you like the retro reviews? Were good, but the bloody copyright. Oh, the stress I got for the belly copyright strikes. A real pain in the ass. Right, okay. And also I want to mention the female bodybuilders. Do you want to know a fact?
Yes.
There's not one female bodybuilder on Giles's famous GFY list.
So they're all nice people.
Hang on. No, there is. There is one. There is one. No, she's on the amber list. She's not on the red. She's like the travel restrictions. And also, we're going to find out this week if I am going to the Olympia, because MD have booked my flights, but we need to hold off until is it the 15th? 16th. What day is it now? It's 4 days. Thursday. So a few days I'll know whether I'm definitely going to the Olympia. So fingers crossed, because I don't want to have to go 2 weeks by freaking Dubai or Romania and just sit bloody bored out of my mind in a bloody hotel room or something just so I can purely get to America. But obviously it's the Olympia, but I can more than happily be away from home for 1 week because it's the Olympia. So, and I don't want to miss too many because obviously we run the Olympia All-Star Tours, and and also ticket sales doing very well for that, the Ashley Coltwasser, and we're already putting plans into place for the next one and the one after that and the one after that. So, all very exciting times. Right, okay then, guys. We will be back next week. I think we're going to make it a bit of an Arnold Classic preview because obviously that'll be 1 or 2 weeks out from the Arnold Classic Ohio. So, and to be honest, I'm absolutely bloody dreading doing the previews because normally, like I said, I've got a pretty good idea of who I want where, but I'm really going to have to study the names because I tell you what, this Arnold Classic, apart from Ramy and Hady, it's pretty much, and Brandon Curry, it's pretty much the Olympia lineup. So it's going to be a very, very interesting Arnold Classic. Okay then, guys, thank you for watching. Thank you for supporting. And ladies and gentlemen, we are out.